Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Well, we're slightly later than normal, aren't we? Because we have actually gone to 7:30 rather than 6:30, which is absolutely brilliant for my body clock, I gotta say, because I get absolutely confused between Sundays and Mondays and all that kind of shenanigans. Anyway, enough about my appalling body clock. Let's quickly get on to the drivers and the constructors, shall we? Before we then get in, have a quick chat with Emerson, the world champion. But, well, starting off with Emerson, let's start talking of Emerson. Let's start off with Emerson, shall we? He is driving in the Renault this season. And then once again, along with Jonathan Cox as well, I've got to say that this is probably the strongest team lineup on the grid. This is fantastic, isn't it? Of course, 2 Grand Prix race winners as well. Emerson, a world champion, 2-time runner-up, and finally got the big one last season. He is the most winningest driver on the grid. He is 1 pole away from Jonathan, actually, who's got the most poles this season, with 31 podiums as well. That's a fantastic achievement, isn't it, for Emerson? And I've got to say, I think that they're definitely going to be the strong favourites, aren't they? Next up is the Red Bull team. We got a man who's driven in 1 Grand Prix in ALR in his career. That is Walker. He's had 1 pole position in the Belgian Grand Prix, didn't he? Unfortunately, didn't go very far in that race, did he? Unfortunately, we have the most experienced driver in ALR history in gold. ALR history, I should say. With 51 starts, it is Gunnar making his return back to the big time, I should say, really. Up next is the Williams team, and in the Williams is the former Constructors World Champions, and in this team we have Farf and Fireshot. Farf, of course, a Grand Prix winner 3 times. He's won a Grand Prix in ALR. Fireshot has won 1 Grand Prix, but he's also had a pole position as well. 21 podiums between the 2 drivers. That's fantastic, isn't it, between those 2? Absolutely electric stuff for the Williams team. They're looking strong, aren't they? Next up is the AlphaTauri team. In the AlphaTauri team, we have Payne's Dead, who has been absolutely phenomenal, I must say. In practice, he's been absolutely mega stuff. And Cartboy making his full season debut as well. He was looking strong towards the end of last season, wasn't he, Cartboy? Looking forward to seeing what he could do in a first full season as well. Up next is the Racing Point, and there's a familiar name in the Racing Point. It is Knowlesy. He has taken part in every single season in ALR history, but let's hope he can finish this one. Knowlesy can. He has never won a race, but he has had a couple of pole positions to his name. He has 2 pole positions to his name, but 7 podiums as well. Next to him is Diego as well. That's a very strong lineup. I feel that Racing Point will be doing well this season, won't they? Up next is the Mercedes team, and in the Mercedes team we have Equals, or shall I say Equals, alongside Liam Ye, who is the first of the promoted drivers then. Is coming up from silver. Good stuff indeed there for Liam Ye. He's a 2-time Grand Prix winner in silver, isn't he? Lovely stuff indeed then. Next up is the Mclaren team, who I felt were a bit disappointing last season with Jonathan and Fireshot, but let's see what they can do this season. They have Indian Jesus then, who had a bit of an up and down season last season. Only has got, I think, 1 point scoring finish in his career. Hopefully he'll do better this season. And Milan, with a 3-time pole sitter, has never won a race set. I feel that he can break that duck this season. Next up is the Ferrari team. In the Ferrari team we have Mr. Elite then. Of course, 1 half of the Constructors World Champions last season. Mr. Elite finished 3rd in the driver standings as well. Fantastic stuff. Alongside him is the full debutant of Dodgy as well. Let's see how Dodgy can do that. I'm going to be honest, if I was Dodgy, I'll be very nervous indeed then. It's quite a cracking field, this one is. Next up is Mumford. Unfortunately, Mumford is not here tonight. He finished 17th in the driver standings last season, but alongside Mumford is Gurman. Of course, Gurman was fantastic in the Haas team last season, wasn't he? Notching up 7 Grand Prix wins, and Haas was on that incredible run of was it 8 Grand Prix wins in a row? Brilliant stuff indeed then. And last but no means least is the Alfa Romeo team, and in the Alfa Romeo team is Dan Murphy, who is the most experienced driver in gold history with 72 race starts. Alongside him is V Todd. He's only ever made 1 appearance in the gold series as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. And that was a bit of a crash course. Now, of course, I'm going to hand over now to my colleague Emerson. Now, I've got to say, Emerson, you are the drivers at World Champion as well. You've been runner-up twice, and you finally got the big one last season. How are you feeling then? Do you wake up a different person now that you are the ALR World Champion?
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of feel like a weight's been lifted off, because like the last 2 seasons I've got so close to actually winning the championship. And, yeah, I mean, it's just a great feeling, to be honest.
Emerson?
Like,
Hello?
Hello?
I think he's left me. Has he left me? No, he hasn't. Hello, Emerson? Are you there? Oh. Well, that's a
Hello?
shame, isn't it? I can't hear Emerson.
Hello?
Oh dear. I don't think I've muted him. Well, that's a big blow, isn't it? Well, what a bad way to start this season then. I wonder if Emerson has just left me.
No, I'm here.
Hang on a minute, as Emerson is giving me is swearing in my ear at the moment. We've got some technical difficulties. Laugh out loud. Standard stuff, really, isn't it? For I gotta say, I did a really good job actually. Of actually going through that quite quickly as well, but unfortunately we can't hear Emerson, which is absolutely I'm absolutely devastated then, which is a big blow. He can hear me, but I can't hear him for some unknown reason. That is absolutely rubbish. That is. I'm really sorry, Emerson. That's 2 in a row now. I reckon that the gods just don't want to speak to doesn't want us to speak to each other. I am devastated. I really am then. But hopefully Emerson could well, I don't want to delay him any further, so we'll have to leave Emerson to it, unfortunately, as I quickly get into the spectator mode as well then, as all the drivers are in now and getting ready to get going. And I'm so sorry, Emerson, because I wanted to speak to him tonight as well, but that's a big blow indeed then. Alright then, as we're just taking a look at the trap map as well, just in front of us, 16 turns then around the street circuit of Melbourne in Australia. This is a 3.2 mile circuit, and lap record is held by Michael Schumacher. Having said that, ALR lap record is what I hear that you want to be informed by. It is Total P's that got the lap record last season. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then, as Emerson has left me. Hopefully we can talk to him a bit later on then. The all-time lap record is actually set by, I think it's set by Jonathan Cox, if I'm not very much mistaken. No, then it's actually Jonathan's got the second fastest lap time in history, but it's actually Jacob with the fastest time in history around here. Lovely stuff indeed then. Right then, we're going to get on to it now then, and get the race going as well. I'm looking forward to this one then. Winter has been far too long. I've been hibernating. I'm as big as a bear now, but at least I am warm. Yeah, let's take a look at the comments, shall we? Sam saying ALR returns, and Jonathan, good evening. Sean Becker, good evening. Echo, good evening. Gordo, is back then. We've also got Chaza, evening people. Mr. Young Light saying ALR is back as well. Brilliant stuff then. We have also got LH44 saying shalom. Shalom. As far from time to get into spectator mode. Am I in spectator mode? I think I'm in spectator mode. I am in spectator mode. Lovely stuff indeed then. Yes, I am. Thank goodness for that. That'd be quite that'd be quite difficult, wouldn't it? We've also got Becca saying this is too excited. Sam saying shame that you aren't lights there. We've also got Echo saying hey. Diego saying just in time for a racing point then as well. Great to see all your comments in there as well. Broke Grilla, evening Sean. Hello, Broke. Hope you're well. We've also, as Becca saying, can we actually hear Emerson this time? Unfortunately, not then. That is a big blow indeed. Liam could hear him, but I couldn't. Well, this is awkward. It is, isn't it? I don't know why I couldn't hear him, to be honest. That was really weird, wasn't it? But there we go then. Lewis Williams, good evening. Looking forward to a nice clean debut tonight then. Yeah, this is going to be good stuff indeed then. Esports Pain saying, pains the crash. Oh, goodness me. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? We got King Curb saying, can I get a... yeah. There you go. I've done it for you. RH44, come on, Jono. Superior Racing League, a big up Dodgy in the Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed then, as you can see. And I got to say, this is great stuff indeed. And Sloth saying, can't wait for this. My gosh, we've got 37 viewers. I'm feeling a bit nervous here. Oh gosh. Right then, let's get into qualifying one, shall we? Well, there's no change in the rules there. Of course, it is exactly the same as last year, but everyone wants to know what qualifying, how you qualify for the Grand Prix. Well, let's go through it, shall we? Got qualifying 1, 2, and 3. Qualifying 1 is about 18 minutes long. Qualifying 2, 15 minutes long. Qualifying 3, 12 minutes long then. So of course then it is going to be about an hour long then, and here we go then. We are ready to get going. We are down under for the Australian Grand Prix. I am loving it. I'm glad I'm back here in the old commentary box, and look at those drivers then. Walker, who has only made one start in ALR, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's changed his gamer tag. I'm absolutely disgraced by that, because that means I've now got to also change all me old tables as well. I am good. Oh goodness me, Milan, there's rain afoot. Oh gosh, sir. And Sam also reckons that Milan can win if he doesn't bottle it. Milan is so quick, isn't he? He should have won a couple of races last season. I think the Dutch Grand Prix instantly comes to mind for me, because he was absolutely fantastic in the Dutch Grand Prix. Remember, Becker was very good in the Dutch Grand Prix as well last season as well. Unfortunately, Becker and Unfortunately, Becker Milan then had a pretty difficult Dutch Grand Prix, didn't they? But less said about that, the better. So we've got Echo, who makes his return to ALR. It's great to see Echo back in this. Of course, he was not in the full grid lineup, so to speak, was he? Lovely shot of the tents here in Albert Park. Absolutely splendid stuff indeed. Then that is we're on board then with Echo. Then as he is just coming out of the car park as well. Then as Nosey said, it is raining throughout the whole race. Then, and I am I am getting very scared by that indeed. Then great, I'm loving. I gotta say it's gonna be a tough old race if it's raining throughout the whole race. It really is indeed. Then as I'm just watching then Echo then coming down then into turn, I think it was 10 there, wasn't it? I think it was indeed that. So we're just watching Echo then. So Echo then made his debut back in USA of Season 2 there. He's had 17 starts there, but he was on the podium as well. I think he took a pole position in the Brazilian Grand Prix as well. That was fantastic, wasn't it? Of course, there Echo. Now, I think that was only his second Grand Prix start in ALR history. Fantastic stuff for Echo. He is driving in the Haas tonight then. I think he's in place of Mumford. Unfortunately, he was unable to take part tonight. Murphy is having some issues in the pit lane. He is out of qualifying already. That's not good at all there for the man who has been on pole position 4 times in gold, but unfortunately has never got that race win yet, has he? Oh, good gosh, that's not good. Echo then is coming over the line as well, and he is about to start his lap as well. Rain throughout the whole of the race, and who could have predicted that? I'm loving this. Oh no, and Echo's in the wall. He's done a Bottas, and he is out of this right from the get-go. Oh, this action galore. We've only 3 minutes into the session. We have lost 2 cars already. Murphy out of the qualifying session. He's got troubles with that Alfa Romeo car, and we have also now lost Echo, who is standing for Mumford. This is not good at all, is it? Oh goodness me, there is drama after drama already in this qualifying session. And remember, there's also rain afoot as well. Walker then, of course, the only ever qualifying appearance he put in ALR was actually in the Belgian Grand Prix, where he got pole position, but unfortunately had a DNF there. So hopefully Walker could get to the end of the race this time as well then. Todd saying, Brooke Grilla saying, Tess says, hello Tess. So just on board, Young Lights is asking for a top 3 qualifying predictions there. Yes, go guys, because and guys and girls there, because I have no earthly idea then. There's Becca is saying that Dan's already got a qualifying ban. He probably has then. So Dan is very much a bad boy, isn't he? I think didn't Alexandra Burke sing about him one year, didn't she? I think on board with Walker then on the third DRS zone. There's 3 DRS zones around here in Albert Park. We're just watching the one out of turn 12 and into turn 13 on the start finish straight, and of course the run down to the Brundle turn as well. So there's a lot of times to overtake around here, isn't there? As we're coming through the final turn 16 as well. Only 16 turns around here. Walker coming up to the line as well. Let's see what Walker can do. He's done a 20 to start us off so far here in Albert Park. Good stuff indeed then from Walker. Indian Jesus are coming around as well. I think we got 2 debutants in the field, and we'll talk about them in just a few minutes. And Indian Jesus there is almost 2 seconds off the pace there. We got a Mercedes there flying around the final turn. Then I think that might be Liam, if I'm not very much mistaken. And I think I am very much mistaken. I am indeed. Then it wasn't. It was equals. I apologise. On board then on board then with Liam now. He's coming through the final part of the course as well. We got Red Bull of Gunnar making a return back to gold full time. Then let's see what Gunnar could do. He is a Red Bull 1-2 at the early stage of this qualifying at qualifying 1 then. Good stuff then. And we have got Liam going second fastest moment, 7 tenths of a second away from Walker at the moment. But Liam, of course, a 2-time Grand Prix winner in silver. I'm looking forward to seeing what Liam can do. I'm really looking forward to Gurman. Of course, that was Liam's old teammate, wasn't it? And last season, there's so many things to look forward to this season, isn't there? I'm just buzzing. I've had a can of Monster. I've had a can of Coke. This is not good at all, is it? I am going to be very much like a bee by the end of this one. I'm going to be buzzing all over the show. We got Milan then, who's about to start his lap as well. Of course, I remember Milan making his debut last season, and he was really ruffling the feathers of the old guard, wasn't he, Milan? I don't think the race ended too well for him, but hopefully that he can put that to one side there and get himself get himself some good performances out of that car as well. I think Indian Jesus is going for a second time run. That's much better for Indian Jesus. Still a half a second away from Walker. He is loving it at the top there at the moment then. So just taking a look at the comments as well. We have got the predictions there for 1, 2 and 3. Walker, Emerson, Milan. Becker reckons it's going to be Emerson, Milan and Gurman. Serious much as we've also got Sam saying Milan, Emerson, Walker. I'm loving those predictions. Keep them coming in, guys and gals. It's going to be an unpredictable season, isn't it? Milan there just coming through into turn 11 and 12. This is the best part of the circuit for me. I love this part of the circuit, and it's also the most dangerous part as well. Of course, you may notice that a lot of the drivers are wearing red helmets tonight then, and of course as we're on board with Emerson as well, because he normally has a traditional red helmet, and of course it's to honour the young man who was lost way too early in his life as well. And of course he's a absolute inspiration to us all then as well. Yeah, and that's why everyone's wearing red helmets starting because he was a Manchester United fan, wasn't he? As we got Milan, who's just gone fast at the moment. And what about the world champion Emerson? He goes fastest at the moment. Quite a nice time indeed there from Emerson, really throwing the gauntlet down then. But yeah, that young man, a Manchester United fan, that is why they're all wearing red helmets indeed. And it's great to see all the drivers there actually all the drivers are changing their helmet designs as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff then, and really good stuff indeed then. Just watching then, as we just got, I think Gordo's just got his prediction in as well. It is Walker, Milan and Emerson there from Gordo. Great stuff indeed then. I'll try and keep up your comments as much as possible, but you're very much a chatty bunch here tonight. Oh goodness me. We've got Manning Gear, which I love that gamer tag. I gotta say, I do love a good gamer tag. We've got a Alfa Romeo is Milan there is stuck on the outside of turn 1 there. I think Kobayashi had a big smash there in 2014. Really made an impact on his debut for Caterham, didn't he? But unfortunately that was an impact there. Massa was not too fond of, was he? As I think he went into the back of him. I think it was a break-by-wire failure, wasn't it? On board with Manning Gear, and he is making his full debut as well tonight. And let's see what the Williams car can do. He is 8th fast at the moment there for the Williams team. Remember that Williams were the Constructors champions at the end of season 2. Season 3. I very much mistaken on that one. So Williams would love to get back to the lofty heights. They were only 3rd in the Constructors last season, but they have far their normal drivers is going to be far from far shot there. And I've got to say they're very explosive drivers, both those drivers are. So hopefully Williams can get them cars to the end more often than not. Then Mr. Elite then went out for the Constructors World Champions, and he's 8th at the moment then, as I think we've got a couple of cars going really quick now. Kart Boy for one then. Jonathan there is just underlining how quick this Renault car is this season. Renault have got 2 drivers who are very quick in qualifying, aren't they? But Gurman there just throws the gauntlet. Look at that, he's 2/10 of a second away then, as the gold and silver champions that are going head to head right from the get-go here in Australia. Brilliant stuff indeed. I am loving this. And we've got Camera Race saying hi, all, hi Sean, good luck to everyone to go there with their fingers crossed as well, and I've just dribbled everywhere. Oh dear, I'm getting too excited here then. We got Dodgy coming back in the pits, and he's got an issue with his front wing by the looks of it, so he's coming back in as well. Here's V-Todd then. Of course he was a silver driver as well. Last season he was very impressive, wasn't he? V-Todd was there. His qualifying performance has been absolutely outstanding, haven't they? But race performance there was questioned at the end of season 1 then. Well, he put those questions to bed, didn't he? He answered them in brilliant style, because after in season 2 he was really good, wasn't he? I think didn't he finish 6th or 7th in the championship last season? He was in 2nd more often than not last season. Unfortunately towards the end of last season it just didn't come to fruition for V-Todd, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do at the pinnacle of ALR, and locking up the inside front there, V-Todd is as well. I'm loving the fact that look at how close Gurman and Emerson is there. Oh goodness me. We got Jonathan in there as well. Jonathan had a bit of a difficult season last season, didn't he? So hopefully he can dust his overalls down there, and going with Renault as well. I got Renault, the defending Constructors champions, and it's looking very good there for the Renault team, isn't it? Bradfield saying that Emerson, Walker and Gurman are going with the top 3. Never mind, forgot about Gurman there from Serious Mushroom as well. Gurman or Mr. Elite all knows the underdogs of the season then. I think Mr. Elite, you can't really call him an underdog anymore, because he was fantastic last season. I think he did everything right but to get a victory there from Mr. Elite. So I reckon the team might, I don't think he's an underdog anymore. He's definitely a strong customer indeed then. Of course we've also got Knowlesy returning back as well. He's on and out at the moment, Knowlesy in his Pink Panther, and look at this as the skies are getting very grey out there. We've had a couple of wet races in Australia over the years, haven't we? 2000 and Tekken comes straight to mind, where Jenson Button won his first Grand Prix in his first Grand Prix with the McLaren team, didn't he? Very good strategy call as well. It's a very damp affair, wasn't it, back in 2010 Australia? We also had very wet very wet qualifying sessions in 2013 and 14 as well. I think that the qualifying, for the first time ever, qualifying was split over 2 days, wasn't it? In qualifying in 2013, wasn't it? There was a lot of, excuse me, oh gosh, there was a lot of, I think Gutierrez had a smash, and so did Felipe Massa as well, didn't he? And 2014, it was I got to say, I think the standout lap there was definitely Danny Ricciardo, wasn't it? As we're on board there with Paint, I forgot to say, I'm really, Paint has looked very strong in some of the practice sessions there. We haven't broadcast the practice sessions this season, have we? I think it's because we want to really give the viewers a bit of a shock to see who is where, who is in there like swimwear. And at the moment now, it's Gurman and Emerson, which I got to say, a lot of you probably in surprise there. I'm not surprised. I really ain't now. As we got Pains out going up to third down, really underlining his pace, and look at the pace there. Oh, I'm loving it. As we're just watching Knowlesy then returning to ALR, and he only had one appearance, I think, last season in I think it was at the Lazarus Sages, wasn't it, for Knowlesy. But we're on board with him now then. Of course, a multiple pole sitter as well. He is 6th fast at the moment there, just a whisker behind Milan, whisker in front of Carboy as well. That's a very competitive lineup, isn't it? I'm loving this. We got Dodgy then in the Ferrari, hasn't set a time yet. Echo hasn't set a time either, nor has Farfetch. Farfetch chilling out of the pits in the moment then. We've also got Murphy out qualifying already there. A big blow for Dan, really, because I feel that this is a very crucial year for Dan then, as he has been lost in the midfield shuffle, hasn't he, as of late there. Dan he was on pole position, wasn't he, in the Russian Grand Prix, I think he was. But I feel that Dan has really got a lot of potential, but he just can't reach for the stars at the moment now. Maybe I should lend him my CD of S Club 7, perhaps. On board Dodgy then, as he is going through turn 11 and 12, and great on board footage as well. Troy's prediction there, Emerson first, Milan second, Gurman in third position there. Lovely stuff indeed. Mr. Young likes to say, bold prediction championship will go down to the final race in a 3 or 4-way fight, it will be indeed there from Young Lights there. And remember that as well there for Young Lights said that as well. Gordo saying prediction Mr. Elite will win at least 2 races this season as well. Dodgy going 17 fast at the moment there. He is still in the drop zone. Of course, we're losing the 5 slowest cars. We have lost 2 already. Echo on his return to ALR will be at the back of the field then, and also Dan Murphy is also going to be 18 for the highest as well. Farf hasn't come out of the pits either in the Williams one. There's Dodgy there just going over the car park at the moment then. Manning Gear then is back on the course at the moment, and here he is then. He is in 15th in the Williams, and both Williamses there are looking not too happy at the moment, are they? They're down in 15th and 19th position respectively. I am counting my chickens before they hatch though. Gordo saying nice start there from Knowlesy. Of course, Knowlesy, we do know, as of course he is the leader of ALR, he has stepped down for a season at the very least, hopefully not for too much longer, as and hopefully we'll see him back in the hot spot in the not too distant future. But he is also a racing driver as well, isn't he? So, of course, Dodgy is 3/10 of a second up there, but he did skip the first chicane, didn't he? Equaz has done a very competitive time there. Look at that then. Mercedes there are very much on the limit there of the car and the skill of the drivers there. 4 thousandths of a second separates Equaz and Liam at the moment, and that's a very interesting, that's very interesting indeed, and wow, impressive stuff indeed then. We're on board there with Jonathan there, who's just come back in the pits. He's displaced Painting, gone up into 3rd position at the moment. We're just watching Gurman there, who's on the 2nd lap on these soft tyres there, and here is the silver world champion then. Of course he's the first silver world champion to be promoted to gold then, after Glock unfortunately didn't get promoted after he decided to call it a day, unfortunately. But it's great to see Gurman in here, isn't it? Of course he has moved up from bronze to silver and now to gold, and I think he's the first driver to ever do so. So wow, Gurman there has really elevated himself up the ranks in ALR, hasn't he? And he's just got better and better. Of course, we are familiar with seeing him in the Haas, aren't we? And that famous car 25 that is becoming very famous in the ALR circles, isn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. We're on watching Far From Money. He hasn't set a time just yet, with 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well. As As we just got Bailey saying Emerson 1, German 2, and Milan 3. That's his prediction. Now keep the prediction coming in, guys. I'm loving this set. We have also got the Young Light saying how close is the grid? Is a 1.2 seconds there, and 14th. It's very close indeed. Then it is, isn't it? It's closer than a whisker. Then we're just watching then Farfar going into the first slowest part of the course then, which is at turn number 15. Then the Williams car coming out of the final corner as well. Unfortunately, Kufar had a bit of a problem there in 2004, didn't he? Farf goes 9 fast, and then also showing it as a Farf celebrating with opening and shutting his letterbox there on the rear of a car. Then, but unfortunately, that is really going to. Let's put Diego in a bit of bother, and that's look at that, locking up the inside front there. Diego is on the very edge of that performance, of that racing point. He is currently 9 places behind his teammate. Let's see what Diego can do on this second bite of the cherry. He's improved by a millisecond there. He is still going to be looking over his shoulder. Then Vitod then, who is also in 14th as well. Then Manning Gear, who is having a oh goodness me, there's a 5-second, the 5-place grid penalty. Gunnar and Milan Gear, who are both looking at both were looking at trying to get out of qualifying, have unfortunately gone into each other. Oh dear, then that is not good at all, is it? We've had an incident there right at the start of the qualifying session there. I thought it was going very swimmingly up until that point, was it? So that's not good at all, is it really? That's not good then. We've got Bulky Volcano saying Emerson 1, German 2, Pains 3 with the fastest lap as well. Gunnar is going to be coming back in the pits, and he's going to be 17th, and I think it is actually Manning Gear then this is going to get the 5-place grid penalty, which means he'll be started. I think he's crashed coming in the pit lane as well. So it's kind of oh dear, it's not very good at all for Manning Gear on his debut. But he's not, and I think he's also going to be starting on the back row of the grid, if I'm not very much mistaken. Then no, that is not good at all. Yeah, he's got oh dear, he's done. Of course, remember Coulthard crashed in Adelaide in the pit entry there, which really still haunts me when I shut my eyes. Then Vitol has gone 10 fastest, impressive stuff indeed there from the Alfa Romeo driver. He is in the top 10 as well. Great stuff indeed then. What about Mr. Elite then? Mr. Elite hasn't validated his timing, but I think he might be going for a second bite of cherry here, perhaps then. In the Ferrari, he indeed is that. Liam, yeah, it's on the same set of tyres there. We have also got Diego then, who is just cruising back to the pits. He should be safe, but I think that Dodgy is out there. He is out there in the Ferrari. Let's see what he does. He's 2/10 of a second away from Gunnar, but he will be starting 17th at the moment. Then there's a 5-place grid penalty coming the Williams driver's way, unfortunately. As we're just taking a look, goodness me, every time I look down there's so many comments there. Gio is saying ALR is back. Hi Gio. We've also got Young Light saying that yeah Gio, these times are blimey quick, aren't they? Good stuff indeed there. So just on board at the moment now with Dodgy, as he is coming up into turn 9 and 10 as well then. And Payne saying doing better than I was in silver already then. I think that Payne's just didn't really fulfill his promise in silver, because I think he had a really good Australian Grand Prix, didn't he? But unfortunately just didn't tie up. And remember in there's a Alfa Romeo, they're just visiting the little gravel trap there. I think that's Todd. And remember that the Paynes there was really good in. Oh no, and Dodgy's in the wall then. He's gone onto the AstroTurf. He's crashed into the barrier. Raikkonen crashed there in 2008, if I'm not very much mistaken. That is not good at all, is it, for Dodgy? And of course they're emulating the other Ferrari driver as well. So Dodgy out qualifying, and that is a big blow indeed then. So we've got our 5 drivers then out qualifying. So just watching Diego coming back in the pits as well. And so Diego is through into qualifying too. Good stuff indeed there from the Racing Point driver. Unfortunately, Dodgy isn't, nor is Gunnar, Manning Gear, Murphy, or Echo even then. So we'd like to see what happened to Murphy. Perhaps he couldn't find the keys to his car, which is a big shame then, isn't it? Just take a look then. Now then, yep. So we're back in the pits then as well then. So just watching Vitol coming in the pits. Right, he's 11th fast at the moment. Remember, this is his first full appearance in gold, and this is second appearance in gold if you count his one-off appearance at towards the end of last season. So good stuff indeed there from Vitol, and he's the only Alfa Romeo driver out there at the moment with Murphy. Unfortunately, lost his keys, and he is unable to get out on the track as well then. So that's in the qualifying one. That's in the qualifying one. I've got to say that was a fantastic qualifying one experience. I got to say, I'm absolutely shattered already. I've only done 18 minutes of qualifying. It's when it's because of all the food I've all the food I've ingested over Christmas and stuff. Right then, let's take a visual look of who's out qualifying. Echo Master crashed quite heavily at turn 2 there. Bottas had a smash there in 2018, if I'm not very much mistaken. We've lost Murphy as well. He had some technical gremlins. He is 19th on the grid then. Dodgy is the slowest of the time runners then. He will start 17th. Gunnar is going to be 16th because Manning Gear is going to be dropping down to the last place on the grid. Unfortunately, a 5-place grid penalty when him and the Irishman Gunnar came to blows. Just before turn 11, I think it was, which is not good at all for Manning Gear, and not good for the Williams team either. The former constructors world champions, unfortunately, are out of the one of the Williams cars is out of qualifying, which is a big shame, isn't it? Right then, as we're going into qualifying 2, then 15 minutes in the second qualifying session. Remember, the second qualifying session is all about strategy. It is all about strategy. Yes, it is indeed. Then. Oof, I'm absolutely knackered then. Of course, we got rain throughout the race, so haven't we? So I'm not sure if anyone's going to be concerned about conserving any soft tyres or thinking about going through on the medium tyres, because if there is rain throughout the race, then you do not have to start on a tyre which you set your fast time, which is a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? Because that would really mix that, wouldn't it? But there you go then. But of course, you can't be like that, can you? Because this is meant to be the pinnacle of motorsport. Right then, is who is going to blink first? Then to come out on track. Then we've had 20 seconds. 20 seconds too long, in my opinion. Liam is out. We've got a Mclaren out as well. As I was going to say, I think that's Jonathan Cox, but I've got to get used to the new driver lineup then, as now in the accelerator as well. Payne saying, I got a constructor's win from Gold. Granty got me that then. Yes, of course, Granty, the double world champion. It's quite odd not to see the double world champion on the grid this season, isn't it? Which is a shame, really, isn't it? Of course, he hung up his boots and gloves at the end of the Mexican Grand Prix last season, and I was a bit sad to see Granty go then, but unfortunately that was I think that was his decision in the end. But yeah, it's a bit odd not to see the double world champion. I've only got one world champion on the grid this season, haven't we? And that is, of course, Emerson. Nigel is, of course, the first ever ALR world champion in history there, where he clinched it with 1 race to go in season 1 in that incredible season with the Red Bull team, absolutely smashing lap records left, right, and centre, wasn't it? Where he just about edged Hunter towards the end there. Nigel did. He was incredible when it comes to podiums there. He was on the podium more often than not, though. Nigel was, wasn't it? I think he was sick of talking to me by the end of the season. But unfortunately, Nigel though is in ALR still. He is in silver for this season, isn't he? And hopefully he has a better season as well, because he had a very difficult season last season with the Mercedes team, didn't he? Of course, another name that is missing is Alhan, which is unfortunate. He took to he's having more of a reserve role this season. Alhan, who finished second in the driver's standings last season, which is a shame, but I'm hoping to have Alhan also back in the races in the not too distant future then. And now as we come over and start the lap as well, Injured Jesus said, I feel he has something to prove then after a tricky start to his ALR career. And now he's in the McLaren as we fly into turn 1 and 2. I'm sure it's the Alan Jones chicane, if I'm not very much mistaken. I'm not sure about that, but there we go. Now into turn 3 as well. Of course, this is called the Brundle turn, because Brundle, of course, went over the back of Johnny Herbert after a free Englishman came to blows out. I think it was Herbert, Brits, I should say. It was Herbert, Coulthard, and Martin Brundle then. Again, a bit too tight there, wasn't it, in the 96 Grand Prix, but somehow Martin Brundle got out of the car and restarted the race. He probably wished he never, though, because he had a bit of a mare, didn't he, back in 96 for the Jordan team. And of course, that was Martin Brundle's last season before he went into commentary with Murray Walker, and that was the best commentary team in my opinion there. I absolutely love those two. They were brilliant together. But of course, that was yesteryear. We also had I think we've had a lot of really good Australian Grand Prix, but not many drivers like this one, really, because Emerson is not it's okay with it, but you wouldn't say he's the biggest fan. We've also got his brother Ayrton, who really doesn't like this track at all then, as he's really not looking forward to he's not really looking forward to next week then, and trying to try to get away from Australia with some points perhaps. And of course, as we of course ALR, we have oh goodness me, we have a crash, and it is it's Cards Boy who is out of qualifying. He is the first victim of turn 12. Oh no, that's not good, is it, for Card Boy? He is going to be absolutely devastated then. We've got Injured Jesus, who is fastest, but that's been quickly eclipsed there by Liam, then. And we've then got Mclaren, who's done into the 20.1 at the moment then. Good times indeed then from the from the top drivers then, but Cartboy, who I thought would have been in the top 10, is out qualifying then. So there is now a opportunity. Vital has done a 21 on the medium tires then. There's an opportunity for someone then to sneak into qualifying 3 here then. Who is it going to be? I thought Cartboy was going to be one driver that is definitely going to be in qualifying 3. Oh goodness gracious me then, that's not good at all, is it? So just on board then, as well as Nigel said, did I hear my name? Hear my name? See me in tomorrow's race then from Nigel today. Of course, yeah, Nigel is a part of silver, isn't he? The first ever ALR world champion. Equals then coming through the final turn as well. Turn 15 then. Let's see what he can do. And DRS then right on the money then. And here comes Equals then. Of course, he had a good run of form, didn't he, towards the end of last season. Had a very difficult start to his ALR career, but he put that right quite quickly, didn't he? Impressively as well, I might say as well. So we got a McLaren, we got a Mercedes, we got a McLaren, we got a Mercedes. Oh goodness me then. Of course, then McLaren, when we next start our next season, of course, which is season 6 of ALR. Goodness me, we haven't even started season. I haven't even got into the first race of season 5 yet, and I'm already talking about season 6. But when we do start season 6, of course, McLaren will be driving with the Mercedes engines from that next season. Vital there is just coming into the pits as well. I'm not sure if he's got the memo or not about the rain or not. We're on board Diego at the moment, and he was the last of the time runners to get through into qualifying 2. This second qualifying session, we are aiming to lose another 5 drivers, but Cartboy has already taken himself out of the equation, unfortunately for Cartboy and for us as well, I feel, because Cartboy, I feel, was definitely going to be in the conversation then. Diego almost going onto the grass out of the exit of turn 15, and that's not where you want to be then. And now all we've got to do is try and rock the car forward as quickly as possible. He is not improved very. He's half a second down then, Diego then. So it looks like he lost a bit of time there in the final sector, and one of the tyres just started to give up slightly, perhaps then. Milan there is I think, did it go faster? It doesn't look like it from my untrained eye then. So Jonathan there is just about to start his lap then, but I think we're going to stay with no, we're going to go with Walker, and here he is, and DRS and right on the money in the Red Bull then. Of course, they were second in the Constructors Championship last season. I think Young Lights really propelled him to second, didn't they, in the beginning of the season, and he was absolutely flying, wasn't he? I feel that Young Lights there might have been a championship contender if he didn't have the internet issues there, which is such a shame, isn't it? Because Young Lights is a very quick customer indeed, isn't he? So just take a quick look at Serious Mushroom saying that Equals could sneak under the radar. He usually does that. Pains, haha, bring back in the race that you got this then. So Equals could get a podium this season, I reckon, that from Gordo as well. Yep, I think that Equals there, especially on his day there, he seems to be a driver that likes track Pacific circuits, doesn't he? But when he does like the track hill, my goodness me, he flies, doesn't he? We're just watching Walker at the moment now. He's got a 100% record in qualifying, hasn't he? Where every ALR qualifying session, he has got pole position then. Can he keep up that record here tonight as well then? Of course, if Emerson gets pole position tonight, then he will equal Jonathan Cox's record of the most pole positions with 12. At the moment, Jonathan's off! Oh no! Oh no, my goodness me! He's in the wall! Jonathan is in the wall! That is a big blow, and that's one of the constructors' potential. Constructors' potentials. Pole sitter potentials. This is our qualifying. 2 have gone in the same place. Emerson is on pole position there by 0.4 of a second there from Walker in second position then. And Emerson there is looking very strong, isn't he? The world champion at the moment then. Oh, goodness me. Beckett saying fatalities in turn 12 yes, it is a very brutal turn 12 is at the moment, isn't it? Goodness me. Gurman is out on the course as well then, and we have also got Pains there starting us off as well. We're on board there with Gurman, the silver world champion, as he now is coming up into turn 9 and 10 then, and of course there is a great place for the races. I think that was their slogan, wasn't it, back in the oh, Gurman's gone wide there. Remember that Gurman there, he was very good in qualifying. He got pole position here for silver, didn't he? But of course, Gurman did take a couple of bites of the cherry there, didn't he, to get himself through. Sorry, to get a clean lap in. But Gurman there, that's not going to be helpful at all. So Jonathan 13th, Cartboy 14th. They're both out of qualifying there. Just watching Pains at the moment there. He is in the conversation, isn't he, for pole position here tonight then. I think that'll be Pains' first pole position in ALR Gold. Good stuff indeed then. As Farfair is he's, I think really cheering on the turn 12 victims, isn't he, with the old bottle job from Farfair on board of paint, and he is not a bottle job, is he? He went through that quiz clean as a whistle, didn't he, into 13 as well. Look at those brake discs glowing on the outside of the Alpha Tauri. Then as Walker's retired from the session, he is in the pit, so he's safe and sound there. He's gone out back to read a bit of the old newspaper. I think Walker might be more of a I think he's more of a Daily Mirror man, isn't he? We're just watching Paynes there out to turn 16, and Emerson's retired from the session as well. What about Paynes? He is second fastest, and that underlines that he's only the second man into the 19s at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. Brilliant qualifying session at the moment. Now, I think it might be the first qualifying session of the season there, but I am really amped up at the moment. Vitol is out on the course at the moment. He's about to start his lap. The only Alfa Romeo in the race. We do not know what's happened to Murphy. I think it's a technical issue. Remember, Murphy had a lot of didn't qualify many times in silver last season, did he? But that is not what he wanted in gold, was it? Of course, for Dan Murphy, of course, he's still aiming for his first Grand Prix win in gold. He's won in every other category of ALR. In bronze and in silver, he has reigned supreme, but he has never reigned supreme in gold as of yet, has it? As just watching Vitol, then in front of us is Payne, who has done his lap, and you can see that the rear light is flashing, and that is when the car is harvested, locking up the right front there from Vitol as he was going out slightly deep there. As Jonathan said, it's oh damn it there as well, as he is very disappointed, isn't he? Very disappointed with that, unfortunately. I'm trying to keep up with your comments, guys, but goodness me, you're all chatterboxes here tonight. I absolutely love it there as well, and hopefully you'll help me through the race as well then, as I don't want to look, I do look very, what's the word, I don't know what I'm talking about, which I don't really know what I'm talking about, especially about strategy. I have no earthly idea what's going on in the form of strategy, and locking up the inside front there. We've got rain afoot as well. I'm wondering now how many people have actually going to be tested in the rain then for the new season, especially in Australia. I wouldn't have tested for the rain in Australia, but then again, I do not think very far ahead in life. To be honest, what I'm thinking about now after ALR, what can I have for supper? So that is just that is as far as my brain goes. And on board Knowlesy then, he is in the racing point as well, flicking it through 11 and 12. Good performance there from Knowlesy then. DRS there, didn't even hear the beep, did we? He was on that button quite quickly, wasn't he? Good stuff indeed, as he now flies into turn 13, and car 94, and it's great to see the famous 94 back in ALR as well. Now into 15 then for the racing point driver. Accelerates not in the slowest part of the course then. DRS then right on the money then, literally look at that, smashing it right down there as quickly as he can then. Knowlesy goes at third fastest, and look at that then, 999 then. Call the emergency services there, because Knowlesy has entered the frame then, and he is now the third driver in the 19th, and Gurman is out for a second bite of cherry, and we're just watching Farf as well. Equals is also out there. We're going to watch the silver world champion, which is Gurman, and really good stuff indeed then. As he is now coming in to, excuse me, I've got to adjust my headpiece then. As he is now coming into 6 and 7, I think it was, and then now we're going up into 9 and 10. There used to be a horrible bump in at 9, didn't there? Which really unsettled the car. That bump has been smoothed out there. He almost made the same mistake he did a lap earlier there, but luckily he kept it in the white lines there. Good stuff indeed there. Now here's a very tricky part of the course there. 12, the curb. If you get on to curb too much, that's very stable there for Gurman. My goodness me, that rear end is not very floaty at all, is it? So Gurman there just keeping his toe planted there. Impressive stuff indeed there from the Haas driver into 14 as well, and it's the sun, of course, there quite high in the sky there. Remember, usually in Australia, it usually begins to set at this time in qualifying, doesn't it? But of course, as it's for the European audiences, really, isn't it? It's very early in the morning in Australia, isn't it? Gurman comes across the line now. He is in the 19s then, and look at those top 4 drivers. This is magnificent tonight, isn't it? And you cannot discount Walker out either. Farfair has had some issues. He's come back in the pits. He has left it very late, hasn't he? The 3-time Grand Prix winner. He won this race in season 2, and he is going to be, of course, for the Red Bull team. He's not going to be very, not going to be too interested about staying there for too much longer, is he? Diego is starting to top as well, and he is the slowest of the timed runners so far. The only man into the 21s. Can Diego sneak into the 20s? He's got half a second to make up, though, hasn't he, on the on the rest of the field so far. Yellow flags in the final sector as well then, and just watching then Diego going through the car park as well then, as I think a lot of you did like my 999 analogy there. We've just got Diego. Ooh, he's invalidated his time now. That's not good, is it? We've just got Mr. Late flying past me in turn 5. I think the most tricky parts of this circuit is turn 12 and turn 5. I had a real problem with turn 5 when I was playing my team the other day. Goodness me, I was ended up. Good job. There's a lot of flashbacks, but I don't play my team with flashbacks. I might have given the game away there, but no, of course I don't. But yes, turn 5. The amount of times I tried to get through there in qualifying, yeah, it just didn't work really. I blame the setup there, which I did steal from one of the ALR drivers, but I'm not going to name my source there. Mr. Elite then is accelerating out of turn 12. So if I remember rightly, I think Mr. Elite had a strongest race here last season, but I don't think he scored any points, did he? Coming into 14 as well then. Of course, the right-hander then before going into 15, there's the left-hander. We drop it down into second gear, tickling the 50-mile-an-hour mark then. And now then 16, and you do not want to scrub any momentum off, do you? Because it's more of a zone there to really slingshot you into the straight. And Mr. Elite has popped himself into the top 10. Equals has come out on circuit as well. He wants to get into that top 10, doesn't he? We've got outlaps there for Farf as well. Where is Farf then? He is on the far side part of the circuit, and I don't think Farf is going to make it. We're on board then with the 3-time Grand Prix winner. He is he's really going to be concerned, isn't he? As he is now coming into the final part of the lap as well. He's got 19 seconds. Is he going to do it, guys? I don't think he's going to do it, to be honest. This is not good at all for Farf, is it? We have got Mercedes coming up to the line as well. Liam Yedden is also starting to stop. He's got 10 seconds to go, Liam Yedden. Indian Jesus is also trying to defend his position then. So there he is as well. Where's Farf then? Farf with 1 second to go there. He has done it there just by the skin of his nose cone there. And Farf, good stuff indeed. That here comes Diego. He is 4/10 of a second up. That's a very good second there from the racing putter. Can he join his teammate Knowlesy into qualifying 3 then? And of course he would love to, wouldn't he? Diego, of course I think Diego is getting quicker and quicker all the time then, isn't he? Of course he was driving for the Haas team towards the end of last season. What about this season? Oh, Diego then getting on the power a bit too early there, out of the final quarter. And let's see what he can do then. His target times are 20.5. It's not enough, but he improves by 5/10 of a second there. He is in 12th position there. Good stuff indeed that Mr. Lee is in the pits then. Indian Jesus has invalidated his time as well then. So we're on board with Liam then. He is at the moment in 8th position then. DRS right on the money then. He has got 1 sector to go now. And let's see let's see then, you can see he's really revving that Mercedes, isn't he? Goodness me then. So we just got Young Light saying fast, let's go then. Damn, that way, damn, look how close the grid is. I know it's so close, isn't it? I can hardly see the difference in lap times as well. Just taking a look then. So everyone has called it a day, apart from Farf. It's between Mr. Elite and Farf. There's going to be some tears in Australia. Who is it going to be? It's going to be Farf who's going to be crying those tears. Williams are out at qualifying. And goodness me, Farf is in 12th position now. He maybe left it a bit late there, of course. Farf is usually as cool as a cucumber, but that has come back to bite him in the tip of the cucumber, unfortunately. And he is out of qualifying. He is 12th on the grid and on row 6 end. So that is going to be, he's going to be devastated with that, isn't he, Farf is? I would really be interested in what Farf's targets were for this season. I think he had an alright season last season, but perhaps he'll love to get back on the winner's circle, won't he? Out of qualifying then is Kart Boy. He had a smash in 12. So did Jonathan as well in 14th position there. Both of them in the same place. Diego in 13th position there. Farf in 12th and left it too late, I think then. Equals just outside the top 10. Good stuff there from Equals. Everyone is on the soft tires in the top 10 because, of course, we expect rain in the race then. It's going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? As we are going to get into qualifying 3 in just a few moments' time as well. As Car Boy saying, I can't believe I crashed then. Proper bottle there. Very disappointing indeed then. Oh goodness, we've got a lot of cucumbers going on in the old chat now. But unfortunately, I've never tried a cucumber because, yeah, it's green. Right, we're into qualifying 3 then. 12 minutes left of this qualifying session. We are so close to the race as well. Remember, gold is now going to be on at 7:30 now UK time on Sunday, which is absolutely perfect for me because it gives me a lot of time to digest. digest my food, which is very important to me, I've got to say. Then I had a lovely bit of chicken tonight, actually. It was absolutely beautiful, and it really was indeed that. But unfortunately, I might suffer tomorrow, as I've had a bit of a bad belly over the last couple of days, and I'm sure you're all going to sympathise with me. But enough about my health. I hope it isn't going to deteriorate too much, especially on Monday, as that is the worst nightmare when I have a bad belly at work. We're on board with Emerson, and he is the first car out on circuit then, and a lovely shot then, the Alan Jones grandstand, which I think I'll make this up really. I'm sure it's in the back of my mind somewhere. It's called Alan Jones then. Maybe I've watched the old YouTube video perhaps then, which is more often the case I have, as we're just watching then. As we're just watching Emerson then, who's just now starting off his final sector as well. Right then, let's see then, look who's in the background now. That is one of the McLarens there. It is Indian Jesus. He wants Emerson, the world champion, to get on with it. Emerson, I wonder if he might let him through there. Goodness me, and Indian Jesus there is just not having any of it. Of course, Indian Jesus there would just wants to get a clear track, doesn't he? Remember, Jonathan was very good this last season. He just came out onto the track there, and just really, and of course, just was thinking about his own self, really, wasn't he? Of course, you need to think about yourself there, and just getting a good qualifying time in, isn't it? And Jesus there just now as he comes into 13 and 14 as well. Just a quick one-liner on the calendar as well. Of course, ALR has tweeted out the calendar, but of course, let's just make it official here as well, shall we? Put our stamp of authority on it. It's of course the official calendar. We haven't done a random calendar this year because it really threw me, because I had no idea where I am. I don't really know where I am anyway most of the time, but especially when there's a random calendar. We're on board then with Indian Jesus going into turn 1, so it's an official calendar. We are at Bahrain next week, the week after at Vietnam as well, and that's going to be the last time ALR is going to race at Vietnam, because it's been dropped off the calendar, hasn't it? Fortunately or unfortunately, I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments then. Probably fortunately for me, because I seem to end up in the wall more often than not, but I do on a lot of circuits, and so that just kind of shows how poor I am then. As we're just now watching then Indian Jesus Energy is now coming into turn 5, and it's very shady down there, isn't it? It's very shady down there, isn't it? It's turn at 5 and 6 there. It's you've got to really spot your braking point very early on indeed. So it's just now accelerating and going up into turn 11 and 12 for this. Well, we've got a lot of cars on track. The only car that's not on track, interestingly enough, is Gurman. I wonder if he's using an extra set of tyres. What do I mean by that, I hear you ask? Well, I don't think I've got a lot of people asking that, because I know you are a lot very smart bunch of cookies in the comments there, but of course, anyone who's new and just interested about that, of course, if you get into qualifying 3, you're allowed an extra set of soft tyres there, and I'm wondering if and of course, and any other sets of tyres there, you have to bring it through into qualifying 3, if that makes any earthly sense, which it probably doesn't there. But all that means is I think Gurman is using an extra set of soft tyres to get himself into the stage there. Indian Jesus has gone fastest, but Emerson there once again, a 19.3 there from Emerson, an incredible time then. Milan there, a 19.7 there, but Emerson there is in a different time zone at the moment there. Impressive stuff indeed. What about Liam there coming across the line, and Liam goes third fastest. He is the meet of the McLaren sandwich. That's an AlphaTauri in the background. I think it is Payne's just starting his up. It is indeed that. What about V-Top then? Is V-Top then, who's cruising back to the looks like he's cruising back to the pits, or perhaps then he's got some damage there on that AlphaTauri. He has indeed, then he's lost an end plate there on the Alfa Romeo, I should say. Then there's too many Alphas in this league, isn't there? V-Top there coming into the pits. Payne's there is on a quick lap of the moon, and Knowlesy has also started as well. Is anyone going for a second time lap? I don't think so. They're all crawling back to the pits, aren't they? As just on board, Mr. Younglight said, Sean, predict your top 3. Oh gosh, there I'm I think I'm going to go with Emerson, Milan, and Liam. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I think it'd be Emerson. I reckon Gurman's going to be in the conversation, and it's Walker or Paynes or Nosey or Mr. Liam. I don't know. It's incredible, isn't it? I absolutely love it. Anyone get to the top 3, in my opinion. opinion there. I feel that Emerson, though, is definitely surefire to be in the top 3, because I'm not sure if anyone else, I'm not sure if there's going to be at least 7 drivers that is going to be able to top Emerson's time there. It's impressive to say the least, isn't it? Here comes Payne's coming out of the final turn as well. He's run wide, and I thought he was going to invalidate his time there, but not by any stretch of the imagination there. And Payne's goes into the 17.7. They're very close there, 600 a second in front of Milan, behind Milan at the moment. And here comes Nosey coming out of the final turn as well. Gurman is out on circuit then, as I think all our speculation was completely wrong, or my speculation, I should say. Nosey is going at full fast at the moment now. He's on the second row of the grid. It's a great return there for Nosey, I've got to say. Really good stuff indeed. He has enjoyed this game now, hasn't he, at Nosey? I think 2019 just wasn't his driving style, was it? And I think this game really has suited him down to the ground there. And it's the same with Emerson as well. I feel that this game has suited him down to the ground as well. But take nothing away from our world champion there. It's Gurman there, goodness me! And wow, that was an incredible car control there from the silver champion. Oh goodness me, then I thought he was going into the wall, but no, Gurman there had it under control. I wish I could say the same for me. I never have it under control, but great bit of car control there from Gurman. Impressive stuff indeed. And he is carrying on as well. Going back to the comment I made earlier, take nothing away from the gold world champion. Yes, the game might have suited him more, perhaps. Or did he put more time into the game than perhaps? And of course, these guys dedicate a lot of time and effort into getting this quick. Then you just don't step into an F1 car and be this quick. Then you might have natural gifted ability, but you still have to put the time in, don't you? Unfortunately, I ain't natural, I ain't gifted, and I have no ability. So that's me definitely out of this. That's why I ain't allowed to drive. You just got Emerson fast, as I said. Milan second. We've just got Gurman, who's snuck his way into third fast at the moment. We've got Todd, who's currently out on the course at the moment. Yellow flags as Nosey is returned back to the pits. Let's take stock. 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Emerson is on course for his 12th pole position of his career, and he will equal his teammate Jonathan, who is currently on 12 at the moment. Then, of course, Jonathan's held that record since season 3. He's been absolutely mega in qualifying. Unfortunately, he's out of this qualifying session at the moment, which is absolutely it's devastating. It really is, isn't it? And we got Milan in second, and he's had 3 pole positions to his name then. Gurman there, who is, of course, never had pole position in gold before, but he was really quick this season in silver last season, and he is underlining it again this season. Look at that, he's third at the moment there in gold. Impressive, isn't it, to say the least there? And I've got to say, I'm loving the fact Gurman's in the gold division there. It's absolutely brilliant. To see him against Emerson, to see Gurman against Milan there in qualifying, to see Gurman taking on, of course, the likes of Walker and Indian Jesus, Mr. Lee. Is absolutely, of course, we are going to be in for some incredible racing over the course of the season. I have no doubt about that then. V-Top then, who is coming into turn 5, I think it is. As of course, Maldonado crashed there in 2012, didn't he? Unfortunately, as I think Maldonado only scored twice in 2012, which I find absolutely astounding. There, yes, he was a bit of a he did attract the barriers more often than not, didn't he, Maldonado? But he was a quick driver on this day, and that Williams car is pretty impressive. Then I think Bruno Senna scored 10 times on that car, didn't he? No disrespect to Bruno Senna, but I don't think he was the quickest driver to step foot in a Formula 1 car, in my opinion. Then. As Becca saying, what a save there from Gurman then, as we just got Gio saying, Fairs P3 then, Gurman, come on there from Young Lights Tango. She is a lively one there. Gurman's car is definitely lively, isn't it? Goodness me. We got V-Top coming out of the final turn as well, and let's see what V-Top can do. This is his second Grand Prix in gold, his first as full start, and he is 7th fastest there, and underlining that he definitely belongs in gold. Brilliant stuff indeed there from V-Top, and hats off to this qualifying specialist. I'm loving this. Brilliant. Here comes Walker. Remember, it's 100% record in qualifying. It's definitely under threat now as the Emerson is thrown the gauntlet down, hasn't he, with 3 minutes to go. Walker is doing a one and done, but it looks at can he get pole position in his second Grand Prix in ALR Gold? At the moment, of course, he got pole position in but Spa last season, didn't he? Can he now steal that record, that joint record away from Emerson there? Let's see then. Walker then is now coming out of turn 4, and as he flies past us into turn 5, not even a hint of a lift. That Red Bull is planted. Look at this then. He doesn't even go into 8th gear on that short straight. Incredible, isn't it? And now then as he is coming into 9 as well. Let's see then as dropping down now into 3rd gear then, 70 miles an hour almost. He was still in 80. Oh my goodness me. That's too much for a brain to comprehend then. Now into 11 and 12 as well then. Hold on to this. Hold on to your hats, everyone. Look at this as he goes for 11. and now 12. Oh, impressive stuff indeed. Then taking a bit of curve there, Walker is there, and of course it's not as lively as Gurman's Haas car, was it? Gurman out on an outlap at the moment, along with Mr. Elite, Indian Jesus, and Mclaren as well. Emerson, is he going to emerge back out of the pit? Said we'll find out, and he's got a bit of a gap at the moment, but this track is a living thing, and it's going to evolve all the time. I feel that the champion needs to come back out. Here comes Walker, DRS said right on the money. Is it going to be enough for pole position? It is. Second at the moment, and he's on the front row of the grid. Walker is, he's 3/10 of a second away from Emerson, just as Emerson comes out of the pit then. Oh, brilliant performance there from Walker as well. There's Milan then. He is now catching up to the man who is on the front row of the grid then, as he is now going into the Brundle turn as well. Is V Todd then going up for another lap then? As they're on board then, he's cruising back to the pits, I think then. Milan then is coming out to turn 4 then. Let's see then as he flies past us once again in the McLaren. And of course, I did say that Mumford and Milan there in the team last season were absolutely brilliant, weren't they? Unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition as such, but I feel Milan was very unlucky in the races, wasn't it? So let's see if he can get some good luck this season. And he's already shown in qualifying. He's been on pole position 3 times, hasn't he? As he is driving the McLaren as well. Look at how much there is no gap at all between himself and the barrier. Then onto turn 12 as well. I think that's going to be an action zone in the race, isn't it? We've already seen a couple of cars off there in a turn 12 already in this race alone. Then remember, Silver is coming up tomorrow as well, and I'm looking forward to Silver. It's going to be just as competitive as last season, and I think it's going to be as competitive as Gold is going to be this season. Then Milan's a rear end, they're getting a bit floaty out of turn 15 then into 16 then, going over the grid then, and he is frustrated, isn't he? Milan is, he lost too much time there, didn't he? And that is it then. Milan, I think, is finished then for qualifying. That is a big blow then. Mr. Elite then cut across the line, he improves by 10th of a second and he stays 9th fastest. So Walker has retired then, so he is on the front row of the grid then, but this is the first time in his ALR career he is not on pole position then. And now then there's I think we got Indian Jesus going very wide then. That is brave, isn't it? I thought he was going to have a high-speed crash there. Not any stretch of imagination. Gurman is 3/10 of a second up in the second sector alone. We're on board with Gurman into 15 as well then. Accelerating out then. Let's see what he can do then. Out of the final turn, and DRS is on the money and he's run out of verse then. Is this going to be enough? Is it? It is. This pole position there for Gurman. An incredible lap time there for Gurman. Indian Jesus has gone 9th fast. He's on the 5th row of the grid there. He's in front of me. He's in front of Mr. Elite. Oh my goodness me. Gurman there. The Silver World Champion there is really from the cat amongst the pigeons there. It is going to be a champion's front row here in ALR Gold. Incredible stuff indeed then. As Mr. Elite there is coming into a turn at 12. What about Emerson? And let's see that. Has he got anything left in the cookie tank then, as he flies through 14 as well? He's 1800 of a second up then. Is that enough? It's a whisker. It is inches, isn't it? It's a game of inches then. Emerson out of the final turn. He's on pole position this time last season. Out of the final turn then. And Emerson, is he going to be on pole position? He's on pole position there. He has done his 12th pole position of his career. What about Paynes? He is in the conversation, I think. He is 3rd fast in the end then. Paynes is on the second row of the grid. Absolutely a fantastic qualifying. What a qualifying performance this was then. On Emerson then is the first pole sitter of season 5 of ALR Gold. And I'm ready to lie down, to be honest. Absolutely amazing stuff. What a qualifying that was said. I'm absolutely buzzed. That was amazing stuff. It really was indeed then. Right then, as you can see, we're just watching Milan. They come back to the pits there. He was frustrated. He lost a lot of time, didn't he, on the final stretch of the lap, didn't he, where Coulthard had a problem there in 2004 for the McLaren team. I think he lost his whole wing, didn't he, Coulthard did? I think Schumacher had a smash there as well in 2005. So Milan is definitely in good company as he hits the ball out of the way there. He might be frustrated, but he's on the 3rd row of the grid then. He is not out of the running yet then. There's rain afoot, isn't there, in this Australian Grand Prix. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. And I gotta say then, this was absolutely brilliant. So many pains, my hands are sweaty then. Young Lights ALR is amazing. Wow, Payne snuck in there. We've also got Sam saying Emerson then. Becca, this is dramatic. Sloth, what a prediction then. Bailey, oh my, oh my. As Young Lights saying that was close then. Equal saying what a lap then. Brilliant stuff. D Gordo saying wait for Emerson 18-1. I'm telling you, he was very close, wasn't he? But of course Emerson there just snuck it in the end then. Oh, amazing stuff then. Loved it all then. As just watching Liam saying 6/10 slower around the same like 2 days later. Not good enough from Liam then. That was very harsh on yourself there, Liam. You're still 7th there, but if he 6/10 of a second, that is quite a big difference, isn't it? I'm wondering, it's sometimes just about the driver, isn't it? Because it might be about the track conditions as well, perhaps. But there is your top 10 for the first Grand Prix of the season there, and Emerson there almost got into the 18s there. That's absolutely formidable, isn't it? I've got to say, I'm quite well. That's incredible stuff, isn't it? And Young Light saying that is a new qualifying record. I think it is, isn't it? I don't think anyone's got that close there, have they, in history? Yes, it is a new qualifying record there. That's the fastest ever time set around Australia. Absolutely mega stuff there for Emerson. Brilliant stuff indeed then, as we get into qualifying. Milan there is not very happy there, but it looks in the comments there. So I'm just trying to get my oh goodness me then, look at that then. Yes, it is rain afoot then. Remember, we had wet races in Australia before. I can only remember 2010. Hopefully someone else could remind me. So I think we also had rain, didn't we, in the 2005 qualifying session as well. I really enjoyed that qualifying session. They did have that aggregate qualifying session, didn't they, where they have to do it over 2 days. Fizzy Keller basically had qualifying sorted by end of Friday, didn't he, really, because it was absolutely deluging down, whereas Rivals was basically on a full wet track, wasn't he, whilst he was on the dry. Right then, here we go then, as oh gosh, we've got 400 comments, haven't we? Oh my word then, absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. Serious Merchant saying your chips will never arrive cold. In terms of Emerson's driving, goodness me, that was an incredible lap there for Emerson, wasn't it? Hats off to the world champion, really good stuff indeed there. And I thought Gurman had it. I thought Gurman lowered the bar too much even for our gold champion there. I am absolutely loving Gurman and Emerson there. We've got Walker in there as well. Payne just looking on it like a car bonnet as well. There's so much to play for in this Australian Grand Prix. There are rumours afoot then that this is a wet race from start to finish then as well. We do have a bit of sunshine now bursting through the clouds then, but I'm not sure who has got a wet setup on and who is going to be struggling on their setup as well. And let's quickly go through the grid chart from front to back. 29 laps around Australia. It's going to be a very perilous race. It's a difficult race to start off, isn't it? Formula 1 season, but we love it there. Of course, it's a traditional start, isn't it, in Formula 1. Then, of course, unfortunately, the real Australian Grand Prix might be postponed this season, which I'm actually devastated by, really. I love it. It's one of my favourite races of the season, and but that's absolutely gutted indeed. Then, as Gio was saying for lap 1 crash predictions, and I'm loving your predictions, by the way. As Young Lights is saying now, Milan, Nosey, and Payne, that rain can do anything. That is my prediction. Drawing a fun for driver of the day. All Farf, Dan, or Echo. Then Echo right to the back of the field. Then 19th on the field. Then anything Echo is. Unfortunately, he didn't get a good lapping, did he? 29 laps said Emerson's on pole position. Then that's the 12th pole position of his career. And he has now got the most poles with Jonathan then. So both runners got 24 pole positions between them. Absolutely fantastic. Gurman there on his gold debut was fantastic, wasn't he? Look at that then, inches behind Emerson then. And really looking forward to this. Gurman and Emerson first and second then. It's a champion's front row. Payne's is looking very strong. Remember, he was in silver last season. We didn't see the best of Payne's. We are seeing something tonight, and I think if we can get that throughout the season, Payne's there could definitely be in the competition there for the driver's standings. Walker in 4th position there, of course, then. So I think Walker might be a bit disappointed with 4th position there. Milan in 5th, and he was very disappointed. Then Nosey on his return is back in 6th. Great stuff. Liam in 7th position there in the Mercedes. 8th position is V Todd. Indian Jesus is in 9th in the McLaren. We got Mr. Ali in 10th position. Equals just outside the points in 11th position there. Farf in a very disappointing 12th, and can he get himself back into the top 10 in points there? Diego in 13th position there. John Jonathan also out of kilter in 14th position. We got Carboy in 15th position. I was also expecting those two drivers to be in the top 10. Gunnar in 16th position. Good qualified performance there from Gunnar. Dodgy on his full ALR debut is 17th, and Murphy is out of the garage, saying that's good to see, but he's down in 18th. 19th is Echo there, unfortunately getting damaged there right from the get-go. And 20th is a Manning Gear there for a 5-place grid penalty for him and Gunnar coming to blows then. And the drivers are lined up and ready to get going as well there. The tension is building up. The drama is electric. Here we go then. Yellow flag said it's floating. We're waiting for that green flag then. There is the green boards then. They are flashing then. When are we going to get going then here in Australia? As we're just waiting for the lights then. There they are then. They are illuminated. Here we go. We got 5. And the start of season 5 is go in Australia. Here we go. And Emerson gets away. Oh, look at that. It's a very sluggish start there from Paint. He has dropped down to 4th already then. Farfus over the second, so there's a Mercedes going off then. And look at this as Emerson is into turn 1, or is he? No, because Walker is trying to go into turn 1. Walker has taken the lead of the Australian Grand Prix, passes the world champion and the silver champion. Walker leads second. It's Emerson. We got Gurman is dropping down to third position. Milan in 4th. Indian Jesus is starting down your side. He's going to the back of his teammate Milan. Both McLarens have come to blows there. That's not good at all. We've also got some sneaking around there. His Paint has had an appalling start. He is dropping down the order, and look at this. It's a very messy start, and Mr. Ali is dropping down the order. We got yellow flags afoot then here in this very damp and soggy Australian Grand Prix. Oh my word then. And you see a very messy start and in the start of this Australian Grand Prix, and we've got Echo dropping down the order as well as him and Diego there coming to blows then, and very messy as well. Jonathan has dropped down 5 positions there. Not a good start at all. Paint is down 9 positions. He's dropped from 3rd to 9th then in the matter of in the matter of a couple of corners there. Walker is absolutely took off, hasn't he? Look at him. He is stretching away already from Emerson in 2nd position there. Gurman in 3rd position in the Haas. We got Knowlesy having a good start in 4th position at the moment there. Milan in 5th, but we got damage onto that McLaren. And here he is then now. Liam then, who is maintained position. He's got at the inside there, down into turn number 13 and forced in the McLaren right. Farf is up 5 position there. He took off like a scolded cat. Farf has it. And look at this, and he's almost pushing Liam there through turn 14 as well. We come into 15 and that one completed and 3/10 of a second. The gap is said as it looks like Emerson's really reeled him in then. Indian Jesus coming in the pits there right from the get-go. Oh, Liam there getting on the power a bit too early then. If we've got any other pit stoppers, we have Equals in the pits as well. Farfus really slipstreaming then. Liam as you go into turn 1 then. There's no DRS yet then, and is there going to be DRS in this race? Well, it's a bit too wet in my opinion for now. Jonathan also in the pits as well. A terrible start there from the British Italian driver. Indian Jesus also in the pits as well, along with the Mercedes of Equals. Farfus having a look then, but Liam will not be deterred at this stage of proceedings then. We've also got Gunnar moving up 6 positions. I just looked down there and so it said beautiful start there from Gunnar. It is indeed. He's up 6 positions. Fantastic. Carboy up 7 positions there. There's been some mighty strong movers, haven't there, from the start of this race. And brilliant stuff indeed then. And there's a lot of Gunnar fans there in the comments there. They're all saying, go on Gunnar, he's having a fantastic start then. Unfortunately, 3 drivers then who have had a bit of a difficult start there in the ALR season. Unfortunately, it's Jonathan Equals and Indian Jesus here, both in there, all 3 of them down in 18th, 19th and 20th position there, as we got a brilliant battle actually between them. Oh no, we haven't, Manning Gear has got damage then. It's the second Williams are having some issues there. Manning Gear there has got damage there, and that's a big blow indeed. Oh goodness gracious me, what's happening here? Oh good! Gunnar and Mr. Lee there have come to blows. Gunnar's off the track there, and he's trying to recover then, and Mr. Lee and Gunnar getting a bit too close for company now. Gunnar recovering as they were going side by side in 11 and 12 goodness me, getting very close there, wasn't it? We're coming through to complete a lap 2 then. Here is the battle for the lead here in Australia then. They come across the line once again then. So Walker's he was having a fantastic start then. Into the pits, there comes Milan. Is there damage on the McLaren? Taking a look then, and look, that's a very late call then. They're still getting to work then, and look at this then. Yes, he's got damage on the McLaren, and Milan is having a nightmare start in car 50. Both McLarens there dropping down the order then. That's not good, is it? As look at this then. So we now got a 3 car scrap for the lead then. Nosey is not too far away. Farfus got past Liam. Farfus now for the 5th position as well. Look at those brake discs glowing. Farfus having a fantastic start indeed there. Really good stuff there from Farf. He is up in the 5th position there. I think the car boy, the starter of the race then for sure. Murphy up 7 positions as well. There's a lot of drivers there that trying to make hay whilst the sun is not so shining there, so to speak. Walker there just dropped Emerson there slightly in the first sector as well there, of course, and just now watching Cartboy then up 8 positions there as well. Then. So both AlphaTauris are now 7th and 8th for the moment. Payne's having a nightmare start, but he's back in the points then at the very least. Then Murphy and V Top, then both Alfa Romeo drivers then are very close to the Goodness me, that camera shook then. I thought someone crashed there. Gosh, blimey, that was getting very hair and scare, wasn't it? On board then it's... Oh, Farfus off! Farfus had a mistake there. Look at this, and he's at turn 12. Farfus dropped down 2 positions there. He was having a good start then, but that is not good at all, is it? For Farfus, he just went slightly too wide there out of turn 12. And now then there's has let Liam and Cartboy in 5th and 6th position go through as well. So there is... So look at that, 7 seconds of gap is almost then already. Oh my word there. Walker set another fast on the race then. Emerson is not letting him go there, so he's still within the second mark, but that doesn't really matter at the moment, does it? Because we have got wet track conditions, which means no DRS among the drag reduction system will remain disabled until the FIA deemed it is fine for us, safe and fine for us to have the DRS enabled. And Echo is up in the 12th position. Good stuff indeed there from Echo. So we just take a look then. Those are the stops at the moment. We've got 5 skies that have stopped so far. Everyone on the intermediate tires still then. No one is on the full wet shed. There's no standing water out there, which is why there will be no one on the wet tires. Of course, we know what the tires are on because there's shallower grooves, and they also have the green marked on the side as well. So that's how we know that they're intermediate tires. The intermediate tires, I think, of the disperse cycle, was it 25, 30 years of war, maybe? No, then the wets could disperse quite a lot more than that. I think, yeah, I heard that it was up to 80, wasn't it? From what Crofty said in the Turkish Grand Prix at the end of last season, perhaps. But there you go. On board with Payne at the moment, as he is chasing Farf made a mistake there. He's dropped down 2 positions then. Now Emerson is all over the gearbox of Walker. Then this is going to get very incredible, very interesting indeed. These two have never gone wheel to wheel in ALR then, so this is going to be very new then. Gurman is just hanging back at the moment, isn't he? He is currently a second behind these two. Then there is Gurman then, looking a very strong customer indeed then. Of course, I think Gurman there had a couple of issues in the race here last season, didn't he? As you can see there, Emerson there is just trying to stay in the slipstream of Walker. Walker had a fantastic start. He's 4th on the grid there, really catapulted up into the lead there, didn't he? He had a magnificent start there from Walker there. Murphy is very close to the back of his teammate, which is Vital Mona, but so Murphy is now over 211 position, and good stuff indeed there for Dan then. I gotta say, I think they're doing an absolutely magnificent job. We've still got 20 cars in this race, and after 5 laps, that's absolutely spectacular stuff. 554 comments, goodness me. What could you all be chatting about in there then? Just I look down there, Young Lights is saying then that Milan set the fast up the race then. Just I look down there, Young Lights reckons that Knowles is going to get a podium here. Well, he's looking strong at the moment there, Knowles, isn't he? A very good 4th position at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for the man who's returning then. We've also got Carboy had a good start as well from Sloth then. Emerson, Jake Wilson, Emerson for the win then. So yes, at the moment Emerson is currently really pushing on, isn't he? He's more than pushing on then. He is very close then to Walker at the moment then. And Walker there is really is just trying to fend off Emerson as much as possible, but at the moment he's not going to be yielding at this stage of proceedings. And Manning Gear is off and he is retired from the race, and there's a technical issue there for the Williams driver, and unfortunately on his debut, Manning Gear then is coming to the pits and retired there, and that's a big blow there for the Williams driver, isn't it? Hopefully that's a big shame, isn't it? It really is. Anything can happen now. Safety cars can happen in this race, and as Milan there just got past Gunnar and moved up into 15th position there from the McLaren driver then. So Milan there trying to come back through the field then after having a bit of a difficult start then here in this race then. Look at this then, there's a Gurman that's now set fast up as well then. So Gurman is now also starting to put the squeeze as well. Look at these 3 cars. Jonathan's got the first penalty of the season there, a 3-second penalty while down in 19th position there. The British Italian driver, the man who's has got the same amount of pole positions now as Emerson. That is the top in ALR history. Brilliant stuff indeed there. So now just accelerated away there out of turn 5 as well. Look at them as they fly past me. Of course, at the moment it's steady light rain at the moment. Now we're expecting this rain to stay with us for the foreseeable future. We'll see if anyone might need to go on to drive later on in this race then. Remember in the past we have said that where rain is meant to stay with us throughout the race there, and sometimes that's not the case, is it? Sir much now saying that Dodgy is making a very good recovery drive. He's doing a very good job actually, Dodgy is at the moment there. He's in 14th position. Of course, he is making his full debut as well. Dodges, he has never driven in silver or bronze or gold, as a matter of fact. And so I think he's doing a cracking job in the second Ferrari at the moment. His teammate Mr. Lee is in 9th position at the moment. They're 3 seconds away from Payne, who is trying to get by Favre, but Favre is not going to let anyone by, because of course Favre is a very strong customer, isn't it, when it comes to driving, when it comes to driving and defending, isn't it? If you're going to get past Favre, you very much got to really send it in. It's Rebecca Sam now saying, come on, Emerson. Emerson would send it past, and Walker there is under pressure at the moment, but he is not going to yield, is he? Walker isn't there. Of course, so this is only his second Grand Prix start in ALR. He's doing a magnificent job. His start was probably one of the best starts you'll ever see. Lewis Hamilton-esque, wasn't it, from Walker there, as he got past the world champion, didn't he? First time of asking. German there, of course, the silver world champion, also in the facility as well. I am loving this. This is brilliant stuff, isn't it? Look at these three drivers at top of their game. Then Walker, then we have Emerson, we have German as well. Nosey, do not count out Nosey. He is a very smart cookie, isn't he? He is very quick. He is very good when it comes to strategy. As we've now got Murphy, who has broken into the top 10 after 7 laps. Good recovery there from Murphy as well. Wilson saying then, it's such a hard track to overtake, let alone in the rain. Then it is very difficult indeed, isn't it, around here there. And of course Wilson, a experienced driver as well. We will see him in action tomorrow. Can't wait to see Wilson. He had a great season in silver last season, and I think that he's one of my drivers that I expect to kick on this season, and then perhaps get a couple of wins under his belt as well. As you can see, the raindrops are still falling at the moment. They're on board at the moment with Paynes. Yellow flag and 2. We got a problem there. It's Diego is facing the wrong way up into turn 9. Then Favre has got a 3-second penalty, and what's happened to Diego? He's got all his pieces in the right direction there, but that's a lot of time lost there for the Racing Point driver, as those tires are going to be screaming hot now, aren't they? So he's got to cool them down slightly. Gunnar is now under pressure there from Indian Jesus, and we're on board the McLaren driver as he is trying to get himself back through the field as well. Gunnar there is I think Gunnar there has been past there, and now at the inside is Indian Jesus as well. Good manoeuvre there. Back at the front then, this is what's happening at the moment. Then Walker is still in the facility of Emerson at the moment, but he's doing a great job to defend, isn't he? Absolutely cracking stuff. As we got Sam saying the rain is slowing down. They're getting, I got to say, I really would like the rain to stop, to be honest, then, as that's going to really throw a spanner in the works, isn't it, for these drivers? They're absolutely amazing stuff indeed there. On board at the moment now with Emerson. We're on at lap 8 out of 29 at the moment. This is the first Grand Prix of 2021 for ALR. 601 comments. Goodness me, guys. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there. And we've, as a young light is saying, that Knowlesy is slowly catching. He is 4 seconds back at the moment. Look, Emerson's all over the gearbox of Walker there, and Emerson there. Is it just a matter if rather than when then here? Oh my word. And look at this, he's right underneath the rear wing of Walker now. Then here we go into 11 and 12, and look at this then, it's like follow the leader. Look at this, as Emerson there, he's going to lose a lot of time, a lot of dirty air, a lot of downforce I should say, on that Renault. But Walker at the moment now has the high ground, doesn't he? And of course everyone knows my favourite film is Star Wars, and having the high ground is very important in that franchise, and it's very important here as well. Emerson then, of course, he hasn't got no DRS to help him out then in this rain-affected Australian Grand Prix. I got to say, I wasn't expecting to be packing my raincoat here tonight. I was expecting to get the get my old legs out to really get the sandals really showing off me sandals and my beautiful tan line, but unfortunately that's not the case at the moment, is it? Look at those top 4 there in the same screen. Absolutely brilliant stuff, isn't it? Oh, I'm loving it. And now coming out of turn 2. So Walker's still leading at the moment, and of course Emerson there does look quicker, and I think if Emerson can get by, he might just wander off into the distance, the Renault driver. But of course catching is one thing, passing is quite another, as Murray Walker said so many times, didn't he, in his legendary commentator career. Absolutely fantastic. And of course as we're coming down now into turn 5 and 6, and usually it's the shade there that causes issues around that corner. Today it's more about the standing water there. Diego is in the pits, and is that a scheduled stop then? I'm wondering. I think that we are going to have stops in this race, but I think it would just be to get on a fresh set of intermediate tyres then, probably about half distance then, around 13, 14 perhaps, and maybe something along those lines as well. Serious Mushroom Liam is just watching and waiting then, as I was thinking about that. There's that song, isn't it, by the Rasmus or something? I don't know, In the Shadows or something like that. But there you go. Anyway, enough about my appalling music taste. We're back on board. We're just watching Emerson. These two are really lighting up the race at the moment, aren't they? We've also got Murphy, who is now wandered up to the back of Mr. Elite. Then Murphy, of course, having a great comeback drive after having issues in qualifying. And only one retiree so far. It's the debutant Manning Gear in the Williams. Unfortunately, having a issue there. He's had to come in and park the car. And he is out of the race, and that's a big blow. Of course, Manning Gear was standing in for Mumford, who in the was it Mumford? I apologise. No, wasn't it? It's far shot. I'm absolutely sorry about that. Of course, Mumford is also not in the race either, unfortunately. But yeah, far shot. Unfortunately, had to bail out. And that's for Walker, almost having a snap of oversteer there. He had a snap of oversteer, I should say, and that is really going to entice Emerson some more. We're back on board with Emerson. Look at him then pushing him into turn 3 at the moment. Goodness me, as this is going to get very incredible indeed, isn't it? Milan has got past Dodgy. Milan is up into 13th position. Good performance there from Milan. I gotta say, an impressive comeback drive from Milan. Really impressive indeed. On board with Murphy at the moment, but as soon as I go on board, then I have to go back to the front. Look at this. There they are. Then these are the free cars. It's the free car showdown at the moment. It's the Red Bull, Renault, and we've also got the Haas car as well. Gurman is synonymous with that Haas on this game, isn't he? Because he had the Haas car last season, and now he has it again. Then and now then is Emerson there. Is really pushing, isn't he, as hard as he can then, and this is going to get very interesting indeed then. As we go into turn number 12 as well. Look at this, and there's lights there. Sorry, not lights. I was just reading the comment. And look, he used to be in the Red Bull, didn't he? That's probably where I tripped up there. But it's Walker this season, and he is really absorbing the pressure absolutely fantastically well, isn't he? I think he's doing a really good job out there. He's very tough indeed. He crosses now all over the back of Gunnar. Gunnar is, look at this, Gunnar there, just about repelling the attack down at the far end of the course. Good stuff indeed there from Gunnar. His teammate Walker is leading this race at the moment. Then of course this is going to be a longer race because it is wet, isn't it? So when it's wet there, we're going to have slower lap times then. And look at this then, and now as Emerson there is gaining, but it's not quick enough. And Nolsey is still dropping back steadily, but he's still in this one. If any of the top 3, it should come to blows, but I doubt they will, because they are absolutely incredible professionals, aren't they? And 11 laps there of absolutely beautiful driving there from all these guys. I'm loving this. This is brilliant stuff indeed then. Search person saying Gurman is saving hers, I'm telling you. And as Sam saying, oh, that was very close indeed there. This is great, isn't it? Oh, I'm loving this. I'm also keeping an eye on the gaps and throughout the field then. This is a very good opportunity time actually there to talk about the race, isn't it? Lap 11 then of 29. Walker leads, and he's led the race from start to finish so far. Had an incredible start off the line. Second position at the moment is Emerson there, the world champion there. Is just squeezing Walker, isn't he? Seeing how much the Walker can repel the attack. We've got Gurman in third position. He's just watching in the wings there. We got Jonathan with another penalty. That's the first driver with 2 penalties in this race at the moment. Look at Emerson there, less than a tenth of a second now. He is so close there to the back of that Red Bull. In the fourth position is Nosey. He's having a very solid race, isn't he? Nosey is absolutely impressive stuff on his return drive to ALR. Really good stuff indeed there from Nosey. Liam in fifth position there, also looking a very good driver then. Well, he's very good in silver as well, isn't he? So looking strong indeed. Liam is there for a good points finish. Cart Boy in 7th position there, Farf in 8th, Payne's in 9th position there. Payne's cannot get past Farf for the moment, can he? And that's not helping Payne's progress, is it? He's very quick indeed, and he had an appalling start. Payne said he was near the front row. Look at this, that is Emerson there. Just gaining, but not enough to straight. Believe it or not, was not long enough here in Australia. In 10th position, 9th position is Mr. League with Murphy. Murphy's incredible progression there is unfortunately come to a halt, hasn't it? The wheel tracks of Mr. Elite at the moment. So Murphy's in 10th position. Vital just outside the points in 11th. Eckhart on a very strong return drive there in 12th position. Good stuff indeed there. Milan there, who came in the pits right early on there because of damage to the car. And Indian Jesus in 15th. Equals in 16th and 17th is Gunnar, Diego 18th, and Jonathan having a miserable old race down in 19th position then. Becca is saying that Emerson should undercut Walker. Well, this is the pit window is going to be open in a not too distant future. Mr. Lee is also Young Light is saying that Farf is showing how to defend as well. He's doing a good job, Farf is, isn't he? And that gap is not flying up and down the moment. It's incredible stuff indeed. And back on board there with Emerson there, and this time they're not as close as they were the time before, was it? So yeah, that's a very interesting very interesting thought there from Becca, isn't it? If if Emerson comes in the pits, then he will probably... Is the undercut going to be quicker in the intermediate tyres? I think it will be, because the intermediate tyres will going to... it's going to just release that freshness of tyres, isn't it? So Walker there is... but it's maybe a bit too early for Emerson at the moment there to go into those fresh intermediate tyres. We're not sure how long this rain is going to stay for. Apparently it's going to stay for all the race, but I do not believe the weather forecast, as I've always tripped up with believing the weather forecast, and I got absolutely saturated one time when I didn't expect it was going to rain. Unfortunately, I was wearing a white shirt as well, so that was probably not the best day of my life. Now Emerson dropping off to the backside. The gap is now up to half a second then, with German in for position then. Nosey is looks like he's starting to put on a bit of a spurt at the moment. It's into the pits. There comes Mr. Elite. Then I think this is the first scheduled stop. Then the Ferrari mechanics are on the pits. Then and there is car 22. Then and those are the fresh intermediate tyres then from Mr. Elite. And wow, this is going to get very interesting indeed. And he is coming out of the pits now. Then and we've also got Echo coming in the pits well for the Haas mechanics are going to work. Then also changing onto the fresh intermediate tyres as well. And he comes out of the pits. Then Dodgy then is being followed there by Indian G's at the moment. Ninja Jesus is also trying to have a comeback drive as well. Mr. Lee in 14th position there, Echo in 15th, and we've got Equals coming in the pits, and Gunnar also in the pits as well. And so when they say, oh, yellow flags, we've got yellow flags. Jonathan's in the wall. He's in the wall at turn 12 there on the Renault. Is having some major issues there. I know this says the front runners are just passing the issues as well. Look, there's debris there on the track then. Is that going to cause any and Jonathan there trying to recover. He has damaged the car. And oh dear, oh dear. And I'm sure that we've seen debris flick off from one of these cars here. Hopefully it hasn't caused any issues there to the front runners there. But Jonathan there not on a very good start to his season, is it? Emerson there, he is coming into the pits, so he is rolling the dice, and the world champion, he is in the pits there. I'm going to change then onto some new intermediate tyres, so definitely listen to Becca's advice here. Red Bull mechanics are, I think, we're out in the pits. Yellow flag in free again. Then what's happening in free? So we got we had some issues down here. Jonathan there is having some issues as well. Liam is in the pits for the Mercedes mechanics. Emerson is coming out of the pits now. Is he going to be out in I think he's out in a clear area. He is indeed there, because look, there's Murphy. Jonathan is out of the race, and his first comeback, his first retirement of the season on the first day, which isn't very good, is it, for Jonathan then. Liam coming out of the pits as well, and Milan then is carrying on, and he's going to be on a quite older intermediate tyres at the moment then. So here comes Page. Look in the background now, that is Dodgy and Indian Jesus there. And Dodgy's got a very quick car in the straight line. Goodness me, good stuff indeed there. Page is coming out just in front of these two there. Oh, Dodgy there is gone off, almost gone off there, and luckily corrected the slide just in time, and made sure he wasn't in the wall then. Good stuff indeed there for the Ferrari driver Dodgy on board Walker at the moment then, as he has now got 7/10 of a second gap over German. And of course what is Emerson doing at the moment now? He's 2.5 seconds in behind Farf at the moment now, so that there is a nice gap there for Emerson there to really make hay, whilst those intermediates are fresh as a daisy. Unfortunately, Jonathan out of the race there. We've just seen a lot of comments there about Jonathan there. Unfortunately, out of the race there. Into the pits comes Walker. Gurman is carrying on then, so Gurman is going for the longer game then. So we're about half distance in this race now then. So Walker is trying to repel the attack then from Emerson there as well. So Knowles also in the pits as well. Gurman there. Sorry, Walker coming in and out now. Knowles also in the pits as well. Where is Emerson? Is Emerson going to be able to then? I think that it's quite a long way back. Emerson is here. I don't think it's going to be enough, and Walker is now out. No, he isn't. There's Emerson. Emerson is through. The undercut has worked then. Emerson takes the firm position away from Walker, and that early stop there has allowed Emerson there to undercut Walker, and has taken the lead of the Australian Grand Prix when it's all said and done anyway. You got Farf coming out of the pits as well, and the Williams, and there's a lot of pit action here in Australia. Mclaren mechanics have just serviced Milan then, as Milan is just dropping back down the order then. Farfair as a yellow 5-second penalty there for Dodgy there for speeding in the pit lane, and that is a big blow for Dodgy, isn't it? Because I think he was on the maybe on the outside of getting some points for the Ferrari team. Unfortunately, that is going to really pull him back into Really pulling back, isn't it? So that's a big blow there for Dodgy, isn't it? Unfortunately, then, of course, he got the pit strategy there. Still open on board with Gurman, and he is in the lead of the Australian Grand Prix, and doing a fine job on his goal debut. He's had a fantastic job, isn't he? I'm loving this. Really good at 7D then. As there's a lot of chatter in the comments now, isn't there, about how long those intermediates can go then. I think that, of course, Emerson is going to be on the longest intermediates, on the intermediates, the longest out of the top 3, isn't he? Is that going to be crucial then? As Gurman's got a 5-second penalty. The race leader has got a 5-second penalty. That is going to be a crucial blow in this race then. Oh, Gurman, what a blow then. And he's coming to the pits, and that's going to be served at the end of the race then, unless he comes back in the pits. And Carr is also in the pits as well. And that is a massive, massive blow for Gurman. Emerson said the fastest half of the race. Said Gurman now. Look at this though. Gurman had a very stonking in-lap, didn't he? Because look, he's in front of Walker. Oh, goodness me then. And he's going in front of Walker then. So Gurman's in-lap was absolutely fantastic. It was Walker's lap appalling. Whatever the case is, maybe Walker's behind Gurman, and they're fight. Gurman there is not giving an inch there, running him out wide. And Gurman is in second position there. He has that 5-second penalty though, which is really put a stain on his race, hasn't it? But Gurman is back up in the second position now as well. Emerson leads by 3.3 seconds. He's been unleashed here in Australia, hasn't he? It took him almost half the race to take the lead, and now he has taken the lead, and he needs to now start to really pull away then. I'm wondering then is let's see how quick Gurman is going to be at this phase of the race, and he needs, as we got Dodgy who is out of the race. And has he gone into the he's on the look, it's a virtual safety car, and of course that's the first virtual safety car of the season then. And then Dodgy, I think that he's done what Schumacher did in 2005. Schumacher went wide in turn 16 there and kept his foot in it. I think that he's ripped off the front right part of the car there on the Ferrari. He is out of this race, and that's the third retirement here in the Australian Grand Prix. And absolutely incredible stuff then, absolutely incredible race then, I've got to say then, for all these drivers. There are only 17 cars still left in this race then, in this first race then of the season 5. It's absolutely mega stuff, isn't it? So the first safety car, you cannot go over your delta, you have to make sure it's still in the green. So this is basically like being on the same scale electric set there, and of course you can't go into the red then, which is what these drivers are trying to do now then. So so there is the top 3 then. Emerson is really stretched away, hasn't he, over those few laps or so, over those few laps, hasn't he? I think 3 laps. Echo's got a drive-through penalty there. That is going to hurt him quite dramatically in this race, because he was involved in the battle for the final point scoring positions there. We got India and Jesus now up into 9th position. Good stuff indeed then. Far from having a solid race in 8th position, isn't he? But Paynes has got past him after Paynes didn't go for the undercut there. Echo coming into the pits now as well. So Emerson leading this race then. We got second position is Gurman there. Gurman seems to, I think Emerson there getting a bit sluggish there going away then. But now he's looks to be back on it there. But Gurman's got the gap down to 2.3 seconds there. Walker in third position there. Knowlesy is still in 4th at the moment then. We'll keep an eye on those guys. Jonathan is left for session, and he's going to be a very unhappy chappy, isn't he? And unfortunately, as I'm just watching Mr. Elite then flying through then, as Dodge also left the session as well then. So we have lost 3 cars in this race so far. On board with Mr. Elite at the moment, and this is the closest battle on track, or it was then, but Indian Jesus now starting to pull away. So I think it's going to be Murphy's turn now to really put the squeeze on Mr. Elite as well. Indian Jesus has done 15 laps on those intermediate tyres then. And we've just got Manning, just got Dodgy saying just tried to get some speed coming on the last corner and lost the back end. Absolutely disappointing indeed. And Serge saying the lack of penalties is absolutely impressive. It really is, isn't it? Absolutely good stuff indeed then. We've got Gurman saying Gurman is pulling away from Walker there from Young Lights. Yes indeed, yes, the gap is up to 3.4 seconds at this moment in time then. The rain is still steadily coming down here in Australia. We're on board with Murphy then in 10th position now. Qualifying issues for Murphy, which is why he's languishing down in the midfield at the moment then, but he's on course and for maybe getting some points. And Injured Jesus are coming into the pits as well, as we're now well and truly into the second half of this Australian Grand Prix. Murphy there is right in the real tracks of Mr. Elite then, as he pulls out from underneath the one half of the Constructors World Champion, which is Mr. Elite then, up the inside. Dan Murphy is in 9th for this day. He's got a 4.5 second deficit between himself and Farf as well, and that could get very tasty indeed. indeed then. So yeah, so of course Dan then has got 4 seconds between himself and Farf then, and Fink Farf has a penalty as well. He does have a penalty because there's a black and white flag next to his name as well. Injured Jesus coming out on the full wet tyres. So I got to say, I'm not sure if this is a gamble or if he has heard something in the grapevine perhaps said, but he's on the full wet tyres. There's no standing water out there, which is the main reason why you need the wet tyres, unless he's just struggling for grip in that McLaren. And at the moment both McLarens are not getting any points at this stage of proceedings. Said we do have 13 laps to go though, so that could definitely change in the that can definitely change in the not too distant future then, as we now got Indian Jesus said is the comments are really determined to get to 1,000. We are, but not very far away. I'm actually really impressed with you guys. Fantastic. And we just at the fast lap race, then Milan has got a penalty for multiple warnings there for track extension and cutting the corners there for Milan. And he is pushing as hard as he can. Then he is down in 12th position there. But I think Milan has shown some impressive pace actually, considering the fact he's had to make an extra stop. We're on board Mr. Lee at the moment, and as you can see, his challenger Murphy is now just pulling off then into this. Oh, Mr. Lee there has gone wide into turn 15 then, and that is going to really interest V Todd, isn't it? He is within the second there, but of course within the second doesn't matter in these conditions there, because there is no DRS of course, and this is a good opportunity now to remind you of tomorrow's race, which is of course silver, and looking forward to that as well. There's no I think our new potato there, of course, still driving in the silver there. He is the favourite for the silver championship, but it's all to play for, isn't it? I remember the potato only had one Grand Prix win to his name in silver last season, the bronze world champion. A very disappointing season for potato, so let's see how he gets on to tomorrow night, of course, which is 7:30 UK time, as all ALR races are now, which is absolutely fantastic stuff. Injured Jesus back in the pit set, and it looks like the wet weather tyres just hasn't worked out there for the McLaren, has it? Unfortunately, he is back on the intermediate tyres, and Injured Jesus he's had a bit of a nightmare race at the moment. Then Walker is now almost 4 seconds behind Gurman. Gurman there is almost got the 5 second gap he needs then with 11 laps to go there. So I think Gurman is going to be loving life out there at the moment. Good stuff indeed. That the gaps are quite spread out at the moment, aren't they? No one's within a second of each other. We're just watching Carr, who is quite close to the back of Liam, and he's now got it within a second, and Paynes is in 7th position at the moment there. I think that's right. If Paynes didn't have such an appalling start, he would definitely be in that top 4 or 5 battling or so. Unfortunately that's not the case, is it? But for Paynes, so he's down in 7th position now. Farfu is a second back at the moment in 8th position there. We've got Murphy in 9th, and Mr. Lee is in 10th, and that completes the top 10. V Todd is just less than a second back from Mr. Lee as well. Mr. Lee was struggling when we was watching him not too long ago, wasn't it? Especially in turn at 20 sorry, turn 15 I should say, as a cart boy going very wide indeed. Then is well, we've got I think they're so desperate now to get to the 1,000 comments mark. They're just yeah, they're just spun out now as well. There's a Becca saying, Sean, we should get paid for the termination for breaking the 1,000 comments reach. Yes, I can pay you with Freddos, but I'll be absolutely devastated because that means I'll be poor. We have also got then we've also got Mr. Younglight saying, come on, let's get a podium as well. Bad lap from Gurman as well, that Gordo just noticed as well, as a base Swift. Oi, oi, Silver! As of course, Silver, the build-up begins, as of course, tomorrow night from 7:15 as well, of course. And if anyone wants to, I would say, if anyone wants to join me before the race, then let me know. But however, I think the technology has let us down tonight, because I've tried 2 weeks on the road to talk to Emerson, and 2 weeks is broke then. So I'm wondering if I'm allowed to talk to Emerson for some reason. I think someone maybe it's the wizard in the sky that is stopping me from talking to Emerson, perhaps. And as we've now got a couple of battles that have really started to take my eye. And one of them is this battle here then between Liam and Cartboy. Cartboy has had a very good race at the moment. He is my driver of the day and doing a fantastic job there, moving up 6th position there. He did a lot of the performance there right from the get-go. We've also got V Todd, Mr. Lee and Milan there battling for 10th, 11th and 12th. We've also got Farf and Payne also locking horns as well, with Murphy 3.5 seconds back then. So there is still all to play for in this race, and so do not go anywhere, folks. This is going to be a cracker. I have no doubt about that as well. Young Knight saying, don't worry, Sean, I'll give you a lot of Freddos. I'll give you a lot of Freddos then. Yes, indeed. Then, of course, I'm an easy man to please. 10p Freddos makes my day very pleasing indeed. Then Diego is back in the pits. Only a couple of laps on those intermediate tires. I'll say a couple of laps. He's done 11 laps on those intermediate tires, hasn't he? And look at this. Mclaren is very close to the back, isn't he? A V-top, then really putting the pressure down, isn't he? On board with the McLaren driver. He's on course to maybe get his first points of the season, but he's got to overtake the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. So he's got two Italian cars there in the way then of Milan getting his first point of the season. We're on board with Milan then. The three-time pole. So look at that. He's got a lot of opposite lot then. Still very greasy out there at the moment. German is quite quick at this stage of the season. 2.7 seconds away from Emerson now. Reeling him in a bit there. We have also got Walker, who is dropping back and he's 8 seconds down at the moment. But Walker is on the podium then. That'll be his first podium of his ALR career in his second Grand Prix. So hats off then indeed then. As Serious Mercer saying, how many places has Mr. Driver Day Dan made up then? So Walker is out of the race then. What has occurred then? Walker is out. We got a safety car. Oh my word then. Walker, the same place as where New Potato went off last season. Oh my word there. And this is really from the car amongst the pigeons there, hasn't it? And that's not what I was expecting then. Walker is out of the race and we got pit stop galore here into the pits. Here comes Farfar changing those tyres then. Oh my word then. Oh wow, anything can happen in the ALR. It usually does then. I think we were settling down was we in this race and all of a sudden safety car has really thrown the curveball in the mix, hasn't it? So I think anyone who has a 5-second penalties is going to be loving this. They can really serve it. The only person who is going to be serving it though is German. I think that German has got quite a nice buffer to Nosey, which means that Walker is very unhappy there. He's left the session out of the race then, as he has gone off there at turn at number 2 then, exactly like what the bronze world champion New Potato did last season in Australia. And it's a Walker there who had a great start then, but unfortunately of course he had a great battle, didn't he, between Emerson and German. I was loving that battle. Unfortunately this hasn't been the start that Walker's wanted then, and absolutely incredible indeed then. So we're just then so now just coming everyone's going to be coming in the pits. Emerson in the pits, so he's changed onto the fresh intermediate tyres. German is going to come in the pits as well because he's going to serve a 5-second penalty then. So that 5-second penalty is now going to be being served now then. So that's not going to apply to his final race time. So good stuff indeed there for German. As he's not coming out of the pits as well then. Nosey has stayed out and has taken the lead on the Australian Grand Prix, and that is a really thrown a curveball in as well. There is Bert Mylander. Nosey leads. Emerson is second. Liam has stayed out. Carr has stayed out. German what was I was saying there? I'm saying absolutely rubbish here, ain't I? Because that is, and German's got 3-second penalties as well. So it's not going at all well at the moment. Is it this oh goodness me. And oh gosh, so German, who I thought was safe, is not safe, is it? As I have been really once again, then the safety car is really has really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it? And absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. And Gordo is absolutely devastated because he took a toilet break at the wrong time because Walker is out of the race then. The man who was fighting for the race win is out then. Nosey leads the Australian Grand Prix. That safety car is because of Walker. We've had a verge safety car and now a full safety car, and Nosey has stayed out. Liam has stayed out, so is Carr as well. German has dropped from 2nd to 5th and he took the 5-second penalty. Now he's got a 3-second penalty. Paynes and Vitor have stayed out as well, so is Milan, and of course so Farf and Dan, Mr. Elite is all came in the pits, and Equals has stayed out, and Diego came in the pits a couple laps ago, and so did Echo as well. Injured Jesus in the pits, and Gunnar also coming in the back as well, but Gunnar is just coming in the pits, so this is good news then for Injured Jesus. Oh my word then, this is absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. I am going to be I'm absolutely enthralled with what's going on here then. And now we got some comments coming in then. Come on Nosey there from Gordo and from Becca and everyone else in the comments as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Really as we got a penalty there for someone, I think it was Indian Jesus, wasn't it, got a penalty somehow. So then Nosey leads the Grand Prix. He hasn't stopped then, so he's going to be on 8-lap ode, 9-lap ode intermediate tyres when the safety safety car comes in. We've got Emerson in second position. He has come in the pits. He is on fresh intermediate tyres, but now he's got a roadblock in terms of Knowlesy, hasn't he? Who is leading this race. And Diego's got a 3-second penalty. He's going to be kicking himself on that one because under a safety car, that's really a cheap one, isn't it? The in third position, Cartboy and Forfeit. They were getting very interested in each other. Now they're going to be more interested in each other as they're battling for the final podium there. Gurman in fifth position there. He got rid of his 5-second penalty. He got the 3-second penalty instead there. Sixth position there is Pains at the moment with V Todd up in the 7th. And Milan is 8th. Farf is 9th. And Dan is in 10th position. That is the top 10 at the moment then. And so we've got Milan there saying, can you spectate me? I've got internet problems there. Where is Milan? Oh, there he is. He's in the 8th position there. I've seen someone who was having some internet problems. So we're just watching Milan now then. 9-lap ode, intermediate tyres. He's saying he's got some internet problems there. We're just taking a look at Milan now. I thought it was Liam or Carboy that was jumping around then when I was looking down the straight, but not quite then. Just on board there. Serious Russian asking Milan, is it the rain that's causing the internet problems? So there has been a lot of moisture in the air tonight, hasn't there? And goodness me, so we're up to 893 comments there. Right then, we are now coming into the end of this epic Australian Grand Prix. And I got to say, it's been absolutely magnificent, hasn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. So at the moment we're on board with Milan then. He was saying he had internet problems then, but looks all right to me then. We have got Goro saying we might not make it, and we got Mr. Younglights there saying Knowlesy with the win then. We're on board Knowlesy at the moment, and he is leading this race then. Of course, I think that this is the first race that he led, if I'm not very much mistaken, since Austria Season 2. So Knowlesy hasn't led a race there, I think it was Austria Season 2. I know that he has been cruelly robbed of perhaps 2 race victories in Austria, where the rain has always caused issues right at the end of the race then. And but it's not then. Oh, is that? Yeah, it was. I think it is Liam then. It has a couple of internet issues then, perhaps. Then. So Liam there just lagging about slightly. Hopefully, it doesn't cause any issues there. Of course, unfortunately, internet problems can cause major issues there, can it? Hopefully, the safety car can manage against that. But we are waiting for Gunnar and Indian Jesus to catch up then. But the safety car is staying out for one more lap at least then, and then we'll be back racing then. So then, how are those intermediate tyres going to fare? And how is this fresh intermediate tyres going to fare to Knowlesy's 10-lap old intermediate tyres? This is going to get interesting stuff indeed then. And so someone's saying Knowlesy can defend really well. He can indeed, can he? And of course he remember then that he had a great battle between himself and Emerson at the Monaco Grand Prix and Season 2, and now we're going to relive that. Of course, remember in Canada as well there, Season 2 as well, where Knowlesy was quicker than Emerson over the course of the Grand Prix, wasn't he? Especially towards the end then, if there was a couple more laps, Knowlesy could have and should have won that race there. Emerson was definitely managing his tyres, so wasn't he? But I think Knowlesy definitely had the high ground in that one. But Emerson are just scraped to win in Canada, and we're going to have more of the same here tonight as well, aren't we? As of course this light rain has just continued on there. It's been a steady fair of rain, hasn't it? As now the Crocodile is caught up, then 4 cars are out of the race then. Manning Gear came in the pits, had issues there. Jonathan had a nightmare race then, damage in the car, and then unfortunately spin at turn 12 he is out of the race then. Dodgy got on the accelerator at turn 16 and crashed on the inside of the pit lane there. Remember, Michael Schumacher did that in 2005. And we also lost Walker, which is the cause of this safety car. He was out at turn 2. Remember, New Potato did that last season, didn't he? In the silver race of the Australian Grand Prix. So, yes, it's going to be... So yes, and there has been many incidents here in Australia. I've got to say, fantastic performance there from everyone. As we've got a lot of hashtag Knowlesy wins, hashtag ALR, hashtag Knowlesy wins, hashtag 1,000 comments, and hashtag Curly for poll tomorrow. Goodness gracious me, then. Yeah, keep your comments coming in, guys. I'm not going to be able to read them all out, though. Goodness me, then. You have definitely very much been in the chatter boxes tonight, haven't you? Right then, 25 out of 29 then, so we're going to have 4 laps when we get going. And safety car is just pulling away then, because now there is the lights are gone off. Knowlesy is the safety car now. He's the de facto safety car. He has to defend there from the fresh shot intermediate tyre of Emerson. In the red of the world champion is second in this race at the moment. Then from what you was reading in the pre-season post and all the predictions there from the drivers, that it might have been Emerson running away and hiding tonight. He definitely hasn't had that, has he? He's had battles from Walker, he's had battles from Gurman, and now he's got Knowlesy, who has put himself into the picture as as well. Nosy there with his consistent pace has really thrown a spanner in the works there. We're back racing in Australia for one more time, I feel. And then Nosy there is not gone, has he? And look at this, and there's going to be incidents there, and Cardboy leads those incidents there, and there's damage there. Oh goodness me, it's an appalling start. And the Haas, it's German who's going to the barrier, and Cardboy, I think, has taken the lead. I'm not sure if that's a bona fide or not, but he leads the Grand Prix. Nosy is second, Emerson is third, and there's all kinds of shenanigans. German is dropping down the order then, and what's going on here? We got a Williams there. Farfus on the inside of Milan there. Farfus fighting there. Milan off the inside there. That's a Ferrari off Mr. Elite then. Milan Murphy is on the outside into 8th for the stage. Passes Page, he's got damage there. Oh no, it's gone appallingly wrong there. Oh goodness me. And I think the safety car restart was a bit of a mess there, to say the least. And now we got to Echo then, who's gone through as well. Payne just dropping down the order. This is heartbreak, isn't it, for some drivers? Oh, especially for German. And Liam is now up into 4th finish there. Vital is up into 5th. Great performance from Vital. Then these are races and yellow flags. And what is occurring now? We got Mr. Lee who's dropping down the order as well. This is not going at all well. Oh no. And the Cardboy leads the Grand Prix. We've got Emerson who's moved back over the 2nd finish there. Car leads the race. I don't know if that's not sure if that's right or not. And we've got a lot of Magello in the comments as well. We've got Liam then who's in 8th position there, Vital in 9th, and Farf in 10th position. Oh my word. And now we've got a lovely shot here from Milan then as oh my goodness me, Paynes and German, who is having some incredible racing out there, and unfortunately the safety car is really thrown a spanner in the works for those two drivers, hasn't it? And I'm not sure how I think that unless car there, I'm not sure where the safety car line is. I think it's the finish line, isn't it, here in Australia? But whatever the case is, he leads the race at the moment, and he hasn't got a penalty. So there goes German now is cruising, and he is, I think, might be unfortunately out of this race then today. Oh my goodness, we got 1,000 comments there. Paynes is out, and what a shame there for Paynes. He was on a great race. I'm not aware he is out then. I tried saying he didn't get penalised, so then come on, Cardboy, get your first win then. Yes, really, I figure this is so because Cardboy didn't get penalised, so he leads the Grand Prix. Emerson is second, and we got Nosy in 3rd position there. Cardboy there, I think that was a very shrewd manoeuvre there, wasn't it, from Cardboy? He's a fantastic stuff indeed then, and good stuff there. Yes, it could be investigated after the race then, as we'll find out then, of course, in due course. But Emerson is not going to be interested about after the race, as he wants to win this race on the track there. Cardboy is not going to let him. There is no penalty between these two then, and Emerson there's on the fresher intermediate tires, and he is now going under the rear wing there of Cardboy, and Cardboy then Mr. Lee's got a 3-second penalty. The penalty is starting to accumulate then. Murphy is now right behind Milan as well. Emerson is trying to have a duck into turn 14, not quite though from Emerson at the moment now. And now then as we come into the coming into the turn 5th. Oh! And Cardboy there just a showing in the rear wheel then. And Cardboy then is currently leading in 2nd position then. Is Emerson Nosy in 3rd position. Liam is in 4th then. Vital 5th, and great stuff from Liam and Vital and for Cardboy, of course then. We got Farf in 6th position then. Milan is 7th then. Murphy 8th. Echo in 9th position. 10th position is Diego. Indian Jesus is just outside the points and then Guna 12th. Equals 13. 14 was Mr. Lee. And German down in 15th position there. And I think that's one driver I feel sorry for really there here today then. What a shame now for What a shame there for German as well. Equals got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane, and that's a very late pit stop. Equals out of the race. We're down to 14 cars, and I think there's going to be a lot of very unhappy drivers at the end of this one, isn't there? I've got to say, up until that safety car, is a very good race, wasn't it? On board then with Emerson as well, and this might be shrouded in controversy. Then what a way to start the season 5 season of ALR. So we're now just watching Emerson, who's trying to get past us. We're on board with Emerson there. Look at this, and he's tweaking the wheel away at the moment, going into 12. And now Carton, going a bit wide, isn't he? But Carton's going to have to do some harvesting as much as possible. Emerson is all over the back of Cart. He's having a look then, but Cart there is defending the inside here with 2 laps to go then. Here in Australia, Nosy just dropping backside. There he is in the Pink Panther in 3rd position there. Liam is in 4th at the moment. We've got V-Top then on a fantastic race in 5th. We're on board once again now with Emerson. This is going to be as we're coming through the 16th quarter for the second to last time here in Australia. And now then, so we've seen already how difficult it is to overtake there. Walker was in the first half of the race, and Emerson set the fast half of the race, and he does get the bonus point, but it's just not clear as the straight is not long enough for Emerson as we go into turn one. Then he is running out of time. Then Carboy is caught him napping there on the safety car restart. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding the safety car restart as we go into turn three. And at the moment now, Carboy is leading on track at the moment. Emerson is second then. And yes, as young guy said, it's all or nothing now, isn't it, for Emerson? Carboy is going for his first Grand Prix winning gold there. He was one driver I was looking forward to seeing what he's doing. Unfortunately, in qualifying, it didn't go to plan, but this race has gone to plan there. He's been my driver today so far. Fantastic. From Carboy. And Nosey there is, I think Nosey is another driver who's been absolutely fantastic. So there's been a lot of good performances out there. V-Todd, another one that's really been amazing. Same with Liam Yeh as well. And look at this, as Emerson there is trying to use as much of the much as possible, and he's got a 3-second penalty there. Emerson has said it is all or nothing, and he's trying to go underneath the rear wing there, and Carboy there, look at this, he's going on the outside, he's fighting. Carboy is running him over out there, and now Carboy has now got the high ground, and he's just now a couple of corners away then, and this is the second to last corner then. Here comes Carboy then. Emerson's got a penalty there, he's going to drop down to third, I think. Then Carboy out of the final turn, and Carboy is going to win the Australia Grand Prix. He caught them napping under the safety car, we think, and he wins the Australia Grand Prix. Nosey is second, Emerson in third position there, Liam in fourth, V-Todd is fifth, and as they all just scramble across the line then. Oh my goodness me. And V-Todd in fifth, fantastic. Murphy in sixth position now, Farf seventh, Milan is in eighth position, Echo on his return in ninth, Diego getting his first points in 10th position as well. Indian Jesus just outside the point 7, Gunnar fantastic 12th, 13th is Mr. Elite there, and 14th is Gurman as well. Hats off to Gurman for keeping on it there, but he was going to be very disappointed when he was battling for the race lead throughout that. Oh goodness me then, as for goodness me then, Equals out of the race, Paynes, Walker, Dodgy, Jonathan and Mann in gear also out of the race as well then. I'm absolutely knackered now. Here comes Gurman as well. He's going to be very disappointed then. But Carboy on his debut, his first Grand Prix win here in ALR and in Australia. And what a way to start off in Australia. And was that in your predictions, guys? I don't think it was. No, it certainly wasn't in my prediction. Carboy does get driver today from 14th on the grid then to win the Australian Grand Prix. Oh, fantastic stuff indeed there. And thank you all to the all you guys in the comments saying you've been absolutely magnificent. I apologise that I've ignored you for most of that race, but I couldn't keep my eyes off of this bad boy. Amazing stuff indeed then. Oh gosh then. Whew. As I'm just sat down and just trying to recover really, as a Carboy then is just celebrating his victory. Nosey on his return there is in second position there. Third position is Emerson, and he'll be very disappointed with that then. And of course he's had a very incredible drive, a very difficult drive indeed then. The 3-second penalty right at the end there. Gurman getting the fastest up, but unfortunately that is no bonus point there for Gurman. So Carboy, his first Grand Prix win of his career in ALR, and second position is Nosey. Third position is Emerson then. Fourth position is Liam Yeh. Fifth is V-Todd. Murphy in sixth position. Great drive from Murphy there from 18th to 6th. Farf in seventh position. Strong performance there from Farf. One of his strongest season openers. 8th is Milan. Echo on his return in 9th, and Diego in a 10th position then. Just outside the points then was Indian Jesus, Gunnar, Mr. Lee and Gurman fastest up. What a shame there for Gurman. Retirements was Equals, Paynes, Walker, Dodgy, Jonathan and Manning Gear all retired from this epic Australian Grand Prix. Amazing stuff indeed then. Right then, as the drivers have joined me in the gantry. I was hoping that Far from be in here as well, but he's decided that he doesn't want to hear anything what I say, which I basically I kind of agree with him on that one, because I do speak absolute rubbish then. Right, I have been joined the gantry. Unfortunately, I didn't hear Emerson right at the beginning, but hopefully I can hear him now. Let's start off with Emerson. Emerson, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Can you hear me?
No?
Yes, I can.
Well, that's annoying. Anyone can hear me?
I can hear you, Sean.
Can you hear me, Alex?
Ooh. 1 second, chaps. Let me see what's going on. But absolutely fantastic race. I'm absolutely knackered. Blimey. Right then. Let's go with Emerson first then. Emerson, what a race today. I feel that you probably are going to be a bit disappointed about how that finished though.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, did feel like I was probably the quickest car on track, and I'm not really sure what happened under the safety car restart, how Cartboy managed to overtake everyone. I'm not really sure if that was right, or because it's a bit annoying that he was able to do that and stay ahead of me, and some points at the end he was kind of pushing me off the track a little bit and was a bit overly aggressive with defending. I know it was in the wet and obviously it was awful conditions, but I mean it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean P3 still pretty good considering first race of the season. But yeah, I mean as we all know, obviously my friend unfortunately passed away the other day, so that was for him. Appreciate everyone for wearing the red helmets today. It was a nice gesture from everyone.
Indeed, it was a really quality gesture, and of course we do our thoughts and prayers with the family as well. But of course, it was very disappointed about the Cartboy thing towards the end. Then, but third position there, you got 15 points. Then, in terms of championship wise, I think that's a good start, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good start, but I mean it could have been another 11. But yeah, I mean P3 still not bad. Yeah, just hopefully next week can be a lot better. No rain, hopefully, because I struggled off the start massively. I was stuck behind Walker a lot to begin with, and it's just impossible to overtake really when it in the wet. So yeah, as soon as I did the undercut on him, I was able to breach a gap, and then obviously I had Gunn behind me, and he had that 5-second penalty. That's why I decided to pit under the safety car, because I thought I may as well, because if I stay out, he's going to still have that 5-second penalty, but if he doesn't pit, then he's going to be on old tyres, and there was kind of a gap to Nosey as well. But yeah, it was an alright race. Very fun, but just a bit disappointing in my opinion.
Well done, Emerson. Great on your first podium of the season then, and also you're now the joint top pole sitter holder in ALR. It's fantastic stuff indeed then. Let's come to, wow, it's the return of the king. Nosey, you're on the podium then after a fantastic strategy call there. Everyone else came in the pits. You decided to stay out and you got second in the end then. Are you thrilled with your return to ALR?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. The only blip was the restart, which I honestly don't know what happened. I was even saying in the party chat to the guys before I even went that I was going to wait until the start line and then go, and then Cartboy just flies past. So I'm going to dispute that and try and get the win. Actually, to be fair, but overall, I think the race was really good, and really happy that a lot of people made it through. I think the restart was the only problem part for the whole race, and everyone did a great job in difficult conditions in a difficult track.
It really was. Talking of the conditions of the track then, was you expecting a wet race, and did you do any practice for the wet race?
I did no practice at all, but I predicted it 2 hours before the lobby opened that it was going to be a wet race. I did say it to Gunnar as well, and we were both very terrified when it actually happened, so yeah, I'm just happy to finish the race as well myself.
Absolutely splendid stuff indeed then. So yes, Nosey on a return and getting a podium as well then. I'm not sure, is Cartboy in here?
He's not.
No worries then. Right, that's it then. Cartboy getting his first Grand Prix win of his career in an incredible Australian Grand Prix. Tomorrow night it is going to be Silver's turn then. I'm looking forward to that one there. Remember what happened last season there with New Potato, that anything can happen in ALR Silver. It usually does. And remember what happened tonight. Fantastic, wasn't it? See you tomorrow, 7:30 UK time. Goodbye.